Hey y'all, Wilshie is back. That's me, Travis Washington, aka Jarvis Washing Machine on Twitch, where you should follow us, by the way. Twitch.tv/Jarvis Washing Machine. Welcome to another episode of Mystery Titans Theater. You're going to love this one. Robert Silva is a joy, a blast to hang out with, always fun. So yeah, enjoy that. But big news, March 16th at the same place, twitch.tv/Jarvis Washing Machine. We are celebrating our 100th episode. So we really want, if you haven't been to any live, just pop in, say hi. We've got a great lineup. March 16th, 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern, twitch.tv/Jarvis Washing Machine. Of course, we've got James Hamilton with us. Couldn't do this without the Frightful Four. I'm telling you, if you've liked some of the goofiness, this is really a celebration of the goofiness that we've done over these past 99 plus episodes. It's weird how I got to 100 there, but it just did. It's the way we're celebrating it. Okay. Okay. After that, April 5th, which is a Friday, Friday Mania weekend, big weekend for a lot of people, as you can imagine. We will be joined by Diamond Joe Danzo at our usual time. Then we go back to Saturdays again. April 20th, Pete Schermacher reuniting the Titans of Wrestling for the most part. Marta Wesselhoff on May 4th. May the 4th, my Star Wars buddy. May 18th, Taro, our old friend Kevin Lyon. And June 1st, we finally get to have on our friend, a great friend and great wrestler here in Vancouver, Nick Pesky McGregor. Can't wait for that. Okay. What else can I tell you? Oh, yeah. This is Echo the Dolphin for the Sega Master System playing on my thing here because it's part of the Master 8. I know, bad name. But it happens April 13th, 1 p.m. Eastern time. I might compete in it if I get good at these things, but I'm sorry if I... So it starts with, it's like these all Sega Master System games that were once on the Sega, or there were bigger hits on Sega Genesis. I know this is not Mystery Titans related, just to indulge. Earthworm Jim first, Echo the Dolphin, Mortal Kombat, Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, Sonic Spinball, Wonder Boy and Monster World, Streets of Rage 2, and Dynamite Headdy will all be part of this. So I'm going to be practicing. If you don't watch this just on twitch.tv/Jarvis Washing Machine for wrestling fun, come watch me play games, and I'm going to be trying these ones out, and some of them are tricky, I'll say that. But it'll be fun. Maybe I will finally make up the courage to join this thing. I'll include a link to it's a Sega Crew on twitch.tv who's in charge of this. Lots of fun. The last one they did for the Genesis was a blast too. And a real discovery. Like I love discovering these hidden gems, old games. Join the Patreon. That's what this is here. That's what this guy is. Lots of good stuff. We just added something from Silva last week that had a kind of an homage to Ole Anderson. I've been doing a lot of those lately. And I will lead you into this one here today. Hope you enjoy it. But before then, if you have a friend who's has relics, RELIX, you want to move them on. The next step is to junk mail and then to a metal leg. Also, if they are into new age instrumentals, you want to move them on to next step is elevator music and then trance/ambient. Might as well keep going here. I wouldn't mind wrapping this up sooner rather than later. By the way, Johnny Hedgepeth is a good man. If you have a friend who's having takeout Indian food, you want to move that on to a freeze-dried pot roast and gravy, and then finally, eventually, the final step is Northern Italian cuisine. I can't think we can all get behind that. All right, enjoy the show and give us your money. Mystery Titans Theater has returned with our first remake in the history of Mystery Titans Theater. What the hell does that mean? Well, I'll explain in a second. My name is Travis Woloshyn. I'm thrilled as always to be joined by your buddy and mine, Johnny Hedgepeth. Johnny, how are you?
I'm really good, and I can't wait to see where this is going.
Yeah, and then the man who had this idea. We do have a guest joining us shortly, and they will be with us. But we wanted to get going because we're a bit behind here today. But the man who's put all this together here, your friend of mine,
young Jessica Langer.
Ken Burns. Ken Burns of Wrestling, the Chief J historian, the third brainbuster, Kelly Nelson. Kelly, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Yeah, this will make sense in a few minutes. This is basically the trailer before the main attraction.
Now I know
And
what this
this
is,
was,
obviously.
yeah, this was one of the first movies I saw in VHS, I believe. I
Wow.
remember my dad renting it in the giant suitcase, and just because of the movie poster, the cover, I loved that whole thing. And I was already into the monster movies and stuff, the Universal ones. So yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't seen
Yeah.
this in years, but I couldn't
Hey,
pass up.
and
This is the long trailer too.
yeah, and to the utter surprise of neither of two of my best friends, I fucking hated this movie.
Yeah, I think it's yeah, pretty much universally
I mean, I was like
despised.
10. I know because I was also a 10-year-old film nerd and I worshipped the OG 1933
Yeah,
one.
I remember when it
yeah,
came on, and I was just like, I thought King Kong was an old movie. Like I was like so
yeah,
confused.
yeah. They
Because
played this on TV all the time in the
All the
80s.
right,
time.
yeah.
It was like it
Yeah,
was wasn't it like a two-nighter? Because it
And I
yeah.
was
remember,
yeah,
It was two tapes for sure.
yeah.
and then
Uh,
he went on to work for a number of years at Universal Studios. He just hung out there on the tram
Yeah.
ride. Jeff
it was
Bridges
the
with an
same thing.
unfortunate beard.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was me too. I was literally like, who's this hippie? Why is he in King Kong?
Yeah, the
There's,
special effects were barely better than the 1933
I would say the 33 one
version,
is
or
better.
worse. Yeah, I mean, it was more impressive considering the limitations they had at
A
the
weird
time.
finish.
And there were no
There we
Anyway,
dinosaurs.
go. Here we go. Mikel Cicluna, not even a Baron anymore. To quote Kelly Nelson from the very first Mystery Titans
thank
Theater.
you.
Okay.
Go ahead, buddy.
Deja vu all over again.
Well,
Yeah, this is from well, January 2016. Harv and I, this was the first Mystery Titans Theater we did. April 23rd, 1983, Cap Center. And yeah, here we are again 8 years later. And I remember it being not the greatest wrestling event ever televised. So we'll see. We
exactly.
got 2 hours to kill.
And so what happened was this popped up in my feed, and I wasn't on that first show. And I said
Yeah.
to Kelly, I skimmed through it, and it's the shits. And I sent it to Kelly, going, "Have we ever done this?" And he just like, "Yeah, it was the first one." I was like, "Oh, we should do a fucking remake."
Yeah, here we go. Baron near the end of his run, long run.
What's that then? Derry Jones at your service.
We've seen a young Eddie Gilbert a few times in the last few weeks now. But yeah, this is going to be a test of our skills to make chicken salad out of chicken shit tonight.
That's
boys.
what we do, right?
Mm.
When we bring in when our guest arrives.
Yes,
like,
maybe
it's
Robert will have some insight on this. Sure.
Or insight, or he'll just be bashing it in his Robert way, which always makes me fucking laugh.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. Mikel Cicluna and Eddie Gilbert. What can you tell me about Eddie Gilbert at this time? You were talking a bit there at the beginning.
Well, he was, one of the young and up and coming guys that they used at this time, along with Kurt Hennig. He was already kind of getting into trouble with drugs, and Bob Backlund was actually his like real life sort of guardian at this point.
Yeah, they put
and then
him
they
on the
turned it
road
into a
with
TV
Bob.
angle.
Yeah, they put him on the road with Bob to try to keep Eddie on the straight and narrow. And in Bob's book, he was just like, "Oh, I'm not a miracle worker."
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Was this around when he broke his neck and they did the angle of the Masked Superstar, or was that?
Yeah, that was a few months later. Yeah, that's when
okay.
Superstar first came in, and it was to cover for Eddie actually hurting himself in a car wreck. Probably
voted the 1983 Wrestling Observer's most disgusting promotional tactic was that angle. How things have changed.
I don't know if that was the first of many for WWF, WWE, but yeah,
dude, the one year,
it almost every year.
the one year, what won in that category for worst promotional tactic was Bob Backlund still being champion.
Yeah, that was the year before. Yeah, that was 82.
So stupid.
And then I think Fritz monopolized the award for a few years.
Yeah, Fritz. Fritz monopolized that one for
Present
a
a
little
dynasty.
while. Yeah,
Moose,
much like
4 straight.
Moose is in the house. Thanks again for subscribing, bud. 13 months. You're the best. Good to have you back.
yeah, much like World Class, he had a good run, but it flamed out.
Yeah, well, he couldn't top the heart attack. That was. But I guess that was going out on top, pretty much. Couldn't get any sleep. Well, you could get sleazier, I guess, and he probably did. Yeah, WCW probably won it a few times during their peak.
Is that Cap Center really unique camera angle, right?
Yes, yeah. Always this particular angle for whatever reason.
And outside, you've got the Cap Center style of state police who will beat the shit out of you, as I've told that story on more than one occasion.
Yes. It's Gorilla Monsoon solo on commentary.
Solo, I was going to say.
Mm-hmm. Oof, jeez, Barrett.
Baron's still using and utilizing those size 15s.
Boy, I'd like to really see those size 15s uncovered, if you know what I mean, Jeff.
It's just-
Big Baron gonna give him a ride here.
Nice.
And a knee
It's
right
just-
below the-
Nice. Look at
Barely
that. Yeah. He's yeah. Another day at the office for the Baron.
Well, that's an awful.
He barely got his knee off the goddamn mat. Eddie Gilbert flies over him.
Possibly find an individual into the turnbuckle, hit hard on the
Yeah, no, Gilbert's doing his job.
How old is Cicluna here, did we say?
We didn't, but I'd imagine probably our age, if not older. Let me see.
He's so funny, man.
He could be even younger than we are, Travis. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Collective thoughts, clear the cobwebs out. That's exactly what he's doing, believe me.
But yeah, he had already got his newspaper delivery union job all set up, so he was almost done at this point. With wrestling.
Him and SD.
Light as a feather, baby.
And Danucci too.
Mm-hmm.
Rats. I really wish I had that it was the time period that I just watched. I watched a year later. Too bad. There's some good stuff happening. That's right when, dude, I thought I was going to get, John, I thought I was going to get the Chic promo where he calls Terry Stewart little fat sergeant or whatever.
Oh boy, dude, that's a holy grail if you can find that one. Terry
It's
Daniels.
Like Terry Daniels.
Dude, you could find that. Danzo would fucking blow you. That's the holy
All
grail.
right. I've got some work to do.
So Cicluna was actually 53, believe it or not.
My age.
At
He's
this
my
point.
age.
Yeah, and he looks not too bad, actually.
Hey, Sean Emily subscribing as well for 18 months, dude. You're the best, man.
Yeah,
he's turning
well,
30.
Sean's-
He's turning 38 tomorrow. So he's happy
Oh,
for the early
wow.
president. Happy birthday,
Happy-
Sean.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
early
man.
birthday, Sean.
Silva update. He's got to restart his laptop. Give me a few, he says.
All right.
Very well here, over the top rope.
Well, he hasn't missed much.
Right. It's fortuitous you chose to do this first, since all the stuff you really picked for him for later. That worked out, Kel.
Fine.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I thought we'd save something good for later. this is
Like I said,
gonna be tough.
I scrolled through this, and boy, it's bad. It's something else.
Victory, but the ring veteran stopped him in a hurry.
We had a request on YouTube that Travis sent me
Yeah.
last night that of a card in Boston from '86 that looks to be probably even worse.
Far
than
worse.
this, believe
Yes,
it or not.
yes. But there's like a great card in Detroit that same night.
I
Yeah.
saw that too. I tried to look for it. I'm terrible for looking at shit on YouTube, but
Yeah, no, it's
I
not
did
there.
find the previous month and the following month at the Boston Garden, but not April.
Yes,
I got-
yeah, they have a bunch of shows around that time.
Yeah, I got
Maybe
March
Landy.
and May.
Oh, Landy, I'm sure it's on Landy's drive. I've seen the main event. I know
Yeah.
that we did it for tag teams back again, just for
Cool.
the comedy. I like forced Marty to watch that one.
Yeah,
because
Moose,
it's
we were
got the
talking about
Haiti
Sting.
Kid in it. Haiti Kid, Junkyard Dog, and Steamboat. Is it against the Funks and Jimmy Hart?
Sunset Flip, Eddie Gilbert. Hey, big win.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think
What's fucking bullshit? He just so Terry Jones to me.
We're still going. Or I thought it was going to be
I
a.
thought I heard the bell.
Yeah, I thought it
Baron
was
got his
Baron.
shoulder up.
Yeah, he did, but that was just a.
That Baron's
Dick
being
move.
unprofessional to Eddie Gilbert.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do the job for this little drug addict.
Isn't it? Yeah, what do you say, Moose, Sting, or The Undertaker? Who do you like better?
Let's take a look at what young Eddie Gilbert did here to get this victory.
We were having that conversation just before we went up there.
Okay, here's the Baron coming.
Ah,
Here's
Moose
for me.
goes Taker.
I hated the Undertaker. I liked Mean Mark Callis in WCW,
Yeah.
but when they called him they took away the Callis, and he was just they
Mean
denounced
Mark.
him as Mean Mark. I was like, that's the worst fucking name.
Yeah. That
It
didn't sound like
sucks.
yeah.
And I hated
Top
the Undertaker until 1996
Big
when-
win, Gilbert.
when they changed his act up a little, and Foley arrived, and then
Right.
Undertaker started having good matches because
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was my favorite Taker period. It
Sure.
only lasted a couple of years.
Well,
They
Oh
were-
my.
Oh boy,
Eddie Gilbert,
let's go up to our ring
Peter
Charles-
Sanchez, and Charles Fulton. Man,
How many-
what-
how many tickets did they sell for this?
I don't know. You can't. I mean, it's black. I mean, I think it
Yeah.
was always dark anyway.
'Cause
But let
That's
me
not
check.
like I said. That's not a small arena. That's a large hockey arena. I saw, like I said, I
Yep.
saw the
Yeah,
dead
all
there
right.
3 times.
Yeah.
Sean
where the
says, Mean
Capitals-
Mark sounds like a guy he blocked on Twitter. And
Oh, boy,
Moose-
check out Pete Sanchez.
Dirty Sanchez. And
Dirty
Brad,
Sanchez.
good to see you, bud.
Eat
Brad says,
dirty
show some respect to the
Sanchez.
American badass, please. No, sorry, not happening.
One of the outstanding premier referees in the
I
world.
liked Biker Taker when he was a heel.
Mm.
I liked heel Biker Taker. I thought that was
I always hated.
Rule
I
because
despised early. Well, no, I liked the original Undertaker as a heel because he was, an ass kicker, kind of like the Road Warriors when they first started.
Right,
But then babyface Undertaker
Like
in the early 90s.
Tuesday
I
in Texas. Tuesday in
despised-
Texas. That's your peak.
That's your pick.
Yeah,
Big
I get
Taker.
like when he put the Ultimate Warrior in the coffin and all that silly
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
But it was
that's-
still
That's an age difference thing because that's exactly why I hated the Undertaker.
Sure.
Because like,
it,
like I
well,
remember
it
was
worked better as a
Monsoon?
heel.
Well, like, even when he was a heel, I remember watching when he first arrived, and it was either Vince or Monsoon who'd be like, "You could smell the formaldehyde all the way over here." I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah. That was wasn't that that was
Fuck you.
WrestleMania against Giant Gonzalez. Yeah.
no, not that.
Wasn't
This
it?
was-
Oh, well,
this
that
was-
was
this was when
similar
he-
though.
No, that was the chloroform. This was he was killing a jobber.
Or no, it was damn, what was it? Was it
Ether?
chlor? No, it was something else. Ether. Yeah,
Yeah.
ether.
No, this was when he
Okay.
first debuted and on Superstars, and they were like saying that he smelled like formaldehyde because he's a
Okay,
dead
yeah,
man,
yeah.
and I'm
Right.
like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
yeah, yeah.
fuck you."
Got a few things.
Yeah.
So Brad acknowledging that Kelly was a huge mortuary mark back in the day, just in real
Oh,
life.
was I?
And Moose,
Yeah, you got
Moose said one of my fave trivia bits is guess who was going to do a crow gimmick until Sting did it the week before WWE was going to let him. But I don't know. And then Sean said Sting could have carried 1995 King Kong Bundy. Taker couldn't handle 1992 Vader, which is an interesting point as well.
Maybe.
That would have been an interesting match. The problem with
Al
early
Snow is the
Undertaker was
answer.
that he
Al
was
Snow is the answer. Hilarious. I can see it. That's funny. Sorry, Kelly, go ahead.
the problem with early Undertaker was that he was confined to just choking and
Yes.
those thrusty things and just slowly walking around the ring. Like he had no
Yes.
no leeway in what he could do. And
Yeah,
then when
and-
that was finally
And I
taken
can tell,
away, it was
and I'll
good.
tell you this, I can appreciate. I'm like going, okay, I think this character is hokey and phony and stupid, but
Right.
can I admire his commitment to it? And
Sure.
okay, if a
an awful
zombie
hip toss.
dead man actually was a fighter, he'd probably fight like this. I get it.
Yeah.
How
That was
frustrating must that have been for him though, all those years? And then suddenly, when Mankind shows up, he's allowed to actually show that I can actually wrestle. I mean,
Mhm.
imagine being actually good and having to walk around like "Urgh," for 6 years.
Yeah. Another
Right.
reason I hated him was because he stole Bret Hart's thunder as a babyface.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I
No,
was
I
a
can
huge
respect
Bret
that.
Hart fan.
Kelly, I can respect that. It's a significantly smarky thing to do. As a kid,
Yeah,
I did
As
it
a
all the
kid,
time.
yeah.
but oh yeah, no, I was firmly in my teenage snarky phase
Moose
by
said
then.
the American Badass made more sense as a gay biker. I like that somebody made the with who's the guy in Judgment Day? Damian Priest looks
Damian
like
Priest.
bisexual Undertaker.
Uh-huh.
Very funny.
I
He
hear he
has to.
lost all his money during doing some bad investments during COVID. Taker. It's
Oh,
probably
really?
just a bullshit
Yeah.
rumor, and
Yeah.
that's why he's prostituting himself out to whoever, whatever
Remember when he did those
nickel and dime
cameos?
promoter will
Remember when he did those
hire him.
cameos? He's like,
Yeah.
from what I hear, Brian's turned out to be a pretty good baseball player.
Yeah.
He's like, all elite Scooby Doo. I'm supposed to say hello to all elite Scooby Doo. He's funny.
He's out there doing his one-man
Just
show.
remembered it, yeah.
I remember when he did his Hall of Fame bit, where he talked for
Right.
like fucking half an hour or more.
Yes.
And I thought, I go, give him 2 years, he's gonna be a preacher. He's gonna be a fucking
Tony
phony
Robbins type thing, yeah.
or something like that. And
Yeah.
he's doing the one-man shows now, but apparently there's a bit of that in there. Maybe a little bit of religion, a little bit of that shit in there. He's gonna have a whole new career as another sort of huckster fucking phony.
Right. Yeah, big time. Haphazard mentioned that he was at that way. You guys saw that when he was in Saudi Arabia. Oh, just
Ooh,
ended that
Jesus.
guy's career.
Dirty Sanchez.
He presented.
That's the Dirty Sanchez.
That's the Dirty Sanchez. He was in Saudi Arabia presenting that soccer cup to Ronaldo, which looked hilarious. Oh yeah, and Moose was saying his Hall of Fame bit looked like Danny Powers from that HBO show, or not Danny Powers, Kenny Powers.
Kenny Powers, yeah.
Yeah.
That show's so good.
My favorite story is when he showed up at I guess it was a Cleveland Cavaliers
Yes.
game in full gimmick,
gear.
wanting to have a sit
Picture
down
with LeBron James, or even just
or
a
whatever,
picture. Yeah,
and he got snubbed,
ghosted.
and he's standing in the hallway waiting.
With his wife
Like,
standing
what the
next to it.
fuck
That's
was
so
that?
awesome. That was the greatest. So funny. Just shows you the levels of fame, right?
That's so bizarre to be in that life where you're like, hey, LeBron, the Undertaker's waiting for you.
Like, are you fucking kidding me? No.
He's like,
Nah, I got
and LeBron was like, "Fuck the Undertaker. He took the spotlight off of Bret Hart when I was a kid."
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So I knew I liked LeBron for some reason. That's it.
Oh, that's
King.
funny.
Robert had to install Zoom on his MacBook, so
Oh,
You're
I'll be
eventually-
here.
Should be here
Here
before
tomorrow.
the main event. Oh, I saw
Yeah.
Worley a year from now is wearing different pants, Johnny. You'd be happy to know. It's the other big update I wanted to share.
I did a little deep dive on Worley the other day. Speaking of like what I'm looking at on my phone during smoke breaks, and like, just hoping to find someone saying shitty stuff about him. Just found his like obituaries, like beloved member of the community, Dick Worley, who coached kids, and I immediately was like, bet he was one of those asshole coaches, right? He must have been.
It's working for you. You keep with it.
Oh boy.
Yep. They're getting more time than the opener.
Yeah.
But I wonder if that wasn't supposed to. I don't think that first one. Yeah. But I don't think that first one was supposed to end when it did. I do think the ref counted to 3 with the Baron's shoulder up.
Well, I mean, it like a sunset flip spot like that was usually a finish. Like you didn't
Right,
kick her out of it. So I think it was just Baron.
Yeah, especially for the young up and coming fiery white meat baby face.
Eddie Gilbert.
But she was. That's so funny to see him like that because Eddie Gilbert at his greatest was like the one of the best heels of all time.
Right.
And the match everyone's waiting for, Big John Studd taking on the 8th wonder of the world.
Wow. Okay. So do we have Andre and Studd on this card?
Yeah.
That's
So
the
that's
main
the
event.
funny thing, you guys. In '84, that was still the feud.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they ran it multiple times.
Yes. Rest in peace to
And-
Virgil. We will include some Virgil stuff.
Right.
On
Hey,
the
we got a lot of
Patreon.
people to talk about.
Yeah.
Ole, Virgil,
Dude,
Butcher
I mean,
Vachon,
Guys,
Brian
let's
Mulrooney,
Yes.
Richard Lewis.
Richard Lewis. Yeah.
I
Been
mean,
a big
but
death
we-
week.
but we did we start the first domino because we murdered Ole
Yes.
Anderson.
We did. We did. We finally put the final nail in his coffin. I don't think we mentioned Butcher Vachon lately, or maybe we did. I know he comes
While
up
back,
every
a
once
while.
in a while.
Look at that pin.
Yeah.
But we didn't just
Taste the
mention
biscuit.
Yeah, we didn't just mention Ole. We watched an Ole match
Yes.
last show.
Right.
Yeah. No,
So-
so he's officially one of the cursed.
The kiss of death.
Joining
love-
Chris Markov and Shecky
Chris
Green.
Markov and Shecky Green. I absolutely love the timing though. That Ole Anderson, the grumpy old motherfucker that he was, and more quotes come out that make me go,
Yeah.
you know what? I think I like Ole actually.
Yeah.
And,
Oh yeah.
I think it's pretty racist, though.
That's the only thing
Well,
that I've
Infamously.
I heard what Teddy Long has said that he's the
Yeah.
only guy I've heard say it,
Right.
so-
Right. On that legend. Yeah. He that was on the that old legend show on the.
Yeah, the round table.
Yeah.
Legends
And-
of wrestling.
And he comes in and calls me an N. That's what's his name?
Yeah.
Tony Atlas. Tony Atlas just drops an N like it's no big deal.
Yeah. No, so yeah, I'm not suddenly proclaiming him as a great dude.
Sure.
However, but the fact that he hated Vince McMahon so much that he hung on to life, suffering through MS for a long time until
Yeah,
finally
That's
Vince
what I
McMahon
was thinking.
was
Hey,
ruined.
Robert.
Till Vince McMahon was ruined and out of wrestling, and that Ole finally could let the sweet embrace of death take him away.
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing, Johnny. He got to see Vince's downfall finally.
God bless him. God bless him.
Yeah.
And that it makes me also my favorite Ole story of all time. Hey, here he is.
Here's
Back in '83 at that meeting where Vince is like, Ole, come to work for me. He goes like, go fuck yourself. And then he comes back the next day. He goes, Ole, I want you to come work with me. I'd like you to meet my wife, Linda. And he goes, fuck you and fuck her too.
Oh my god.
And Vince's like, you'll never work for me. And he's like, yeah, go fuck yourself.
Crazy.
Ole
But they
was
gave
good
him a
judge of
tribute.
character.
Screen. They
Here
gave
he
him a
is.
tribute screen.
Robert, you hear us all right, buddy? Oh, getting close. You missed
Almost
a
there.
barn burner. Charlie Fulton.
One of the ugliest finishes you'll ever see there. And it just continues with the next match.
Can't hear you, Robert.
He might still be setting up his audio. Yeah, because I don't have. He's in the room. At least somebody with the name Robert Silva is in the room.
He's choosing to just sit in silence.
Mhm.
Lurking.
They kept me up this late to watch a goddamn Charlie Fulton match.
Getting close. Seeing those three dots.
Yeah,
There we
he
go.
is.
Robert,
Check
can you
mark.
hear us? Now he's muted.
He's muted.
Hey.
Oh, we get a Fuji promo.
Jesus, who's the interviewer? Who's this
Mystery
giant man? It's like the tall guy from the police squad.
Yeah. Naked gun.
Yeah.
You got something in your you got something in your teeth.
Yeah.
Clunk a banana falls up.
You know the old story. Boy meets girl. Boy loses girl. Girl dies in tragic blimp accident at the Rose Bowl. Good year? No, it was a terrible year.
There he is. Robert, can you hear us all
Robert.
right?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, there we go.
Robert
Okay.
Silva, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Let me get out of this. All right, fellas, how y'all doing?
We're
Great, man.
Doing
How you
great,
doing?
man.
All right.
Yeah, you missed
What's
two.
this? What year is this?
God awful matches. It's, April 23rd, 1983. You're watching the Cap Center.
Oh, 83. You know, it's crazy how they had a horrible roster that year and made millions of dollars.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, they were still doing quite well.
Oh,
Attendance.
Oh,
Jesus.
geez, sweet handsome.
Wearing the I'm a big Buster Keaton fan, that's all.
I remember when Sweet turned babyface late 82.
Yeah. Yeah.
He refereed a match between Superstar Graham and Backlund at the Garden.
Mhm.
And he didn't let Superstar cheat. And then that's how he turned babyface. And I think he was a babyface for the rest of his career before he retired.
Yeah, he was.
Baby
Well,
face
we've talked a
again.
lot about Sweet over the years and the quality of his matches, but
And lines
also,
thereof.
a baby
He does
face-
not look well.
a baby face in New York wearing a Confederate hat and the stars and bars on his fucking jacket.
Ridiculous.
Hey.
Yeah.
A year later, the Freebirds would come in for about a month and do the same shit, right?
You're right. You're right.
No, and then,
well,
and then
it was Vince's childhood growing up in North Carolina.
and then a couple of years
Soft
later,
spot.
he brings in Dick Slater and calls him the
Oh,
Rebel.
yeah, the rebel.
The
The
Rebel.
rebel.
He's waving the stars and bars coming down to the ring. He's a baby face.
You know what? They should have brought him in as Jimmy Jack Funk since he was copying Terry Funk.
There you go.
Yeah, brilliant. I never thought
There
of
you
that. But
go.
that would have been great.
So
Dick
Robert,
Funk.
this card, what we're starting the show with, is the very first show ever done on Mystery Titans Theater, when the original run years ago, and it was just Kelly and Parv did that one, and through a bit of circumstances, we decided, hey, let's do it again with the new
Wait a
team.
minute. Well, there was a fourth guy that you said died, but he didn't die. It was a joke. What was the other guy?
That was Parv.
James.
What
Oh well,
James?
no. Well, James, I don't know.
Yeah,
if he died,
James,
but he may have. He's dead to us.
I hope not.
No, I remember you guys made a joke. Oh, rest in peace, James.
Oh yes,
no,
yeah.
that was the bit.
And
we
that
did.
was
Yeah,
that was before he quit. It was a
that was
joke
before he quit.
because
That was he was sick.
he missed the show at the last second. Then we pretended he was dead,
Yeah.
and then he ended up basically going nuts on PWO, and that was that.
Now back then, fellas, if you're old enough to remember, this used to be shown on both USA and MSG.
Yes.
Because I think did the USA have something to do with MSG? Because in '83
must
and
have.
'84, USA showed all the cards, showed all the matches
Yeah.
played on cards.
I wouldn't know. We didn't have cable.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
But I used to go through the TV guide and circle all the wrestling shows and wish that I could see it because I didn't have cable.
Awesome. That's the best, man. Oh, I love it.
So you had 6:05 on Saturday and Sunday, and
So
USA Network damn near had wrestling every night.
Mhm. At this time,
was
they still
before the
had
expansion.
Southwestern, Joe Blanchard's promotion.
Yeah, they had they had WWF because they were showing the Capital cards and the MSG cards.
Mm-hmm.
Fuji's looking pretty good today. He's selling like $1 million. So MSG Network would show cards from Cap Center as well. Any other arenas they would show cards from aside from
No,
MSG?
USA was showing would simulcast the MSG cards and show the
Yeah.
Capital Center cards.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
don't think MSG showed the Capital Center cards, but USA would simulcast the Garden cards at the same time MSG was showing it.
Yeah. Come on, you know how it is, man. Yeah, MSG's like, sure, you can have a little bit of New York, but we don't want your rinky-dink Baltimore bullshit on our card.
I think that was done. I think Vince did that as a way to see. It was like what would you call it? A test to see if the rest of the country would watch his show right before he began his expansion.
Yeah. Well, 83 was like year 0 for the expansion.
Well, they started in LA, right?
Yeah, LA,
Yeah.
California basically was wide open. Essentially.
Somebody's got to bring that back. It would go over huge and boom.
I would love to see somebody do that move, headbutt to
Yeah.
the sternum.
Yeah.
Oh, Fuji was horrible.
Fuji was great. I love him, and
Yeah.
not ironically, he was legit a great wrestler.
Yeah.
He's
I
looking
love
good
the
here
Saito.
too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Saito
been
was my
Saito
favorite. out of
too,
them.
and Tanaka, they were all awesome.
Oh, I love Tanaka.
Well, Fuji and Saito were a great team because Saito was technically the better worker, but
Mhm.
Saito didn't have a ton of personality. Where Fuji was a
Fuji,
great
yeah, right.
worker
Fuji
and
had
had
a
all the
personality.
personality, and they were. That
You
was,
also remember, you guys remember that great match Saito had with a Tiger Mask a few months before.
Yes. Yep. On
On
TV,
TV.
on regular TV.
Made Tiger Mask look like $5 million. I was like,
Hmm.
Oh yeah, it's awesome match. Crowd just goes nuts.
ugh. Sweet Hansen fucking stinks, and
he was a huge star in Carolinas.
Yes, he was. Him and Rip Hawk, one of the great tag teams of all time. And I've seen some footage of them as a team from the early '70s, and they could go. Believe
Oh,
it or
dude,
not, they were
he
fast-paced.
at one time was good, but 1983.
Oh yeah,
this,
no, he was
this particular. Look at this schlub.
Looks like
Ugh.
Donald Trump.
kind of.
The same color hair.
And
Now-
what would be Andre the Giant's tights
Is
when he turned heel?
Fuji's family from Japan? Because I know he was born in Hawaii.
I think so.
Probably.
Yeah.
I
But yes,
remember the
he
one
was
time
born
I
in it.
wrestled Mr. Fuji. I wrestled Mr. Fuji in Baltimore. I did. The people loved me. I was the most popular guy on the card.
Little Fuji, we call him.
Little Fuji man.
He's just a little one. That's what they call him. That's what they say. I don't think he's that small, but that's what they say.
What's the main event of this card? Sergeant Slaughter and Backlund?
No.
Nope.
Andre and Big John Studd.
Oh boy.
Is Backlund on this card?
No.
No Backlund,
Okay.
unfortunately. So we're not going to get
Andre and Big
too
John
much.
Studd. Oh my God. Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's a
You're
middle of the
welcome.
show main event too, not a end of the show.
Is Snook on this card, or did he kill somebody that night? Couldn't show up?
I think he may have been in
A little
prison
busy,
in
bro. I'm a little
Allentown 'cause
busy,
he's
bro.
He's not on the card.
Hey,
It
brother.
would have been around this time, Robert. Actually,
Hey, brother.
It happened a
happened
month later.
again.
It happened what? I think
was it in May? It was May. Okay,
May of
yeah,
'83?
May,
A
you're
month,
right.
a month later, right? The same night.
But there
Eddie-
was the
Yeah, right,
earlier
Just plotting out a
incident
murder, brother. Can't come in today.
Plot.
where the
You think-
police dogs
he plot.
had to
He
come.
couldn't plot his way to the goddamn chicken restaurant. Plot. He's brain damage.
Hey, that chick used to mess with Hulk Hogan too. I'm like, she got around. Oh my
Oh, wow.
God,
Wow.
Nancy Argentino.
Argent.
The day he killed her was also the same night that Eddie Gilbert almost died.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Moose just
Oh,
said.
really?
It happened the night that Eddie Gilbert broke his neck.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because Don
Crazy.
Morocco talked about it in a few shoot interviews.
Hmm. Wow.
Let's go Swede chant. Echoing through the rafters.
Oh yeah, it's just rattling the rafters. Man, this nerve
Oh, man,
hold.
this is god awful. Rest Hogan.
An itchy arm.
That's what it does to you eventually. That's why you submit. You're just too itchy.
Sweet just doesn't stink. He looks like he literally stinks.
Yeah.
Looks like a smelly motherfucker.
Oh yeah, hey, around this time, you guys remember Big John Studd was doing the body slam challenges weekly on
Yep.
All
Yes,
Star and Championship Wrestling? Was Sweet Hansen one of the guys and he almost got him up?
could have been. Gorilla Monsoon was
But
definitely
that
one of
Gorilla
the guys.
Monsoon was the last one.
Wow.
Was the
How
last
long
one.
Yeah,
did
the
that go?
final.
How
Yeah.
long did that
before
go? Did that
Andre.
go for a year as well? Because guess what?
Not
Andre
a year.
came out. Well,
Oh, he
Andre
brought it
came out.
back,
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure he brought
Andre
it
came
back.
out a year later for the
That was the-
15,000.
That was to build the feud against Andre, where every week
Mhm. Yeah.
$5 or $10,000 anybody could slam him. I think Sweet
Yeah.
close, and then the closest Gorilla Monsoon had him up in the air.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Then
yeah, and Gorilla had been retired at that point. Too.
Awesome.
Yeah, Gorilla.
But it was funny, like, because they did tiers. They started actually with a fan out of the crowd trying to slam him, and then it went to enhancement guys for a few weeks. So you went up a tier, and then it went to mid card guys and Gorilla, and then of course Andre was the final boss. And yeah, it was we started doing that on Titans, covering that on Titans, but the show ended before we got to the end of it.
Yeah, so Andre comes out and is about to slam him, but Blassie's hanging off of the back of his neck a year later, and Vince is like, well, Blassie himself is 280 pounds.
Just win.
I know. So funny.
Yeah.
It's
fucking that's good to see you, boss.
Did they erase from history Haku slamming him?
Kind of, yeah. Didn't it happen just at an MSG? Oh no, it happened on TV.
Teen Dream, Swede Hansen. By the rocket to his back.
One of the few victories in 1983 for Swede Hansen.
Look at this.
Yeah,
look at John Candy.
Flounder.
It's hot. The guy in the red doesn't like him.
Stephen First.
Pollyanna next to him there, just looking into our soul.
Yeah, she's like, ugh. This is worse. That match was worse than falling out of that tree.
I remember this was maybe the best match.
What was this? The second match on the card?
Third.
What were the first two matches?
Oh boy, Richard Keel.
Cicluna versus Eddie Gilbert was the opener,
and Dirty Sanchez versus Charlie Fulton.
Oh my God, idiots!
Pete Sanchez.
No, it's as bad even by the standards of the time.
Some people paid money for this shit.
Swede Hansen is this like baby face. It's so funny.
Look up the gate attendance. I bet this is a sellout.
Yeah, no, I can't. History of WWE doesn't have a number for it.
Okay,
unfortunately.
Dude, people want to see Andre the Giant in person so bad they'll sit through all this bullshit.
Yeah, I'm sure that's true.
Right.
And this would have been. This would have been the payoff for the Slam Challenge.
Here we go, though.
Now we're talking.
I remember this.
We also have
Morocco. Look at that belt, man. Wow.
That's an underrated good belt.
This was after they did the screw job on Championship Wrestling, where Rocky Johnson had Morocco in the abdominal stretch. The referee rang the bell, and everybody thought it was a title change, and they went to commercial, and they didn't mention it for the rest of the episode.
Dude, I saw on tape, I got a hold of this tape, and I knew I was watching something that was not live that happened 2 years earlier, and it was a Rocky Johnson Morocco match that I got so into. It was from the Spectrum, and Rocky Johnson had Morocco in the sleeper, and the hand went down for the third time, and the bell's ringing, and there's like the curfew, and I got so fucking mad. As if it had just happened and it was real. I was fucking storming around the living room at 15 or 16 going, fuck you. I was so invested. I wanted Rocky Johnson to win. I loved Rocky Johnson. He has children everywhere.
His balls are falling out.
There's only one child.
Long ball Larry, long ball Rocky. You've been watching Curb, you guys? Sorry.
No, not yet.
No, I'm going to wait until it's done and then binge it.
I love on that Young Rock show that I'd watch. The reason that he had to leave WWF real fast was some made up thing about trying to promote against Vince when the reality was a bit more sordid.
Speaking of Rocky Johnson, that was Virgil's first tag team partner.
That's right.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Soul Train Joe. It was kind of ironic. They both did the Apollo Creed gimmick in their career.
Rocky was the original.
When he was in Memphis, had that Apollo Creed gimmick when he took on Lawler, and then a decade later, Mike Jones had Soul Train Joe's Apollo Creed gimmick.
Because it was so successful in the 70s when they did it with Rocky Johnson.
They did huge business, right? With Rocky and Lawler.
Yeah, because to show you how different things were back then. Rocky Johnson had been wrestling since the 60s, but when he came to Memphis, they actually were able to present him as a boxer who had never
And he
wrestled
never
before.
wrestled before. Right.
Right? Because most of the fans wouldn't have known that unless you were a magazine reader, and it did huge numbers. It was also basically a ripoff of the Inoki versus Ali angle from the same year.
Right.
It drew better. It drew more money.
Yeah, exactly. It was a big, much bigger success than that, which is hilarious.
Well, I don't want to give away something that I put on the Patreon in honor of the late great Mike Jones, but it's going to be Soul Train Jones. You called it, Robert. I didn't want to go with Virgil. I didn't want to honor the man by him playing a manservant.
I love that character.
We're going Soul Train Jones.
I think it would have went over big in the WWF had he come in as Soul Train Jones.
I remember when Matt Stryker was announcing on Raw or whatever with Lawler, and he was always, trying to get in that he knows a lot about wrestling, all the
historical facts, right?
Historical facts. Yeah. And they briefly brought back Virgil to be with Ted DiBiase Jr.
Oh, and, 2010.
Yeah. And he says something, he's like, there he is, Virgil. He's not just Virgil. Also, hey, King, you knew him at first as Soul Train Jones in Memphis. And Lawler basically goes, shut the fuck up. What's wrong with you? Lawler got visibly mad at him. Like, what the fuck? What are you doing?
That's hilarious.
He said, nobody cares.
Which was basically true.
It was true. It was so funny. I wish if someone can find that, it's out there.
Whatever happened to Matt Stryker? I thought he was a decent commentator.
Yeah.
Where is he? MLW now, right?
He's an MLW, and he recently did something on the air that he had to apologize for.
Yeah, I think he's kind of like a weird men's rights activist. The last thing, yeah.
Well, that's too bad.
It's a shame. Yeah, I thought he was okay too.
He was good in Lucha Underground, I guess.
Yeah. I'm in Vampiro.
Is this Gorilla announcing by himself?
It is. Yep. Solo Gorilla.
Yeah, because I think Vince did a lot of solo announcing at the MSG cards back then as well.
Oh, yeah. All through the 70s, like for 10 years straight, pretty much. And then just a few months before this, Gorilla joined them. And they had this awkward few-month period where they were both lead guys, and there was no color, and it was
that doesn't make sense for them two
guys
together. And it wasn't just that; it was two alpha males going at it.
Yeah, that was the bigger problem
because Monsoon would openly disagree with McMahon in a way like basically say, Vinny Jr., you're completely wrong here.
Yeah.
It's so
hilarious.
Funny. It's so funny.
That's awesome.
And Vince couldn't do anything because Gorilla was one of his father's.
Vince couldn't do a goddamn thing about it.
Yeah.
He owed him money. Literally, he owed him money from the deal. But then Vince just left or stopped doing commentary, and then I think it went straight to Gorilla and Pat Patterson at MSG.
Right, and then Gorilla and Gene Okerlund when the expansion began.
Yeah. Underrated combo. A lot of people don't like him, but I don't know. For some reason, I like that combo.
He was doing that carnival barking. Oh my god!
Yeah, I think it's because I love those shows so much. Those '84 MSG shows.
Dr. D. David Jones. I'm like, shut up.
No Piscopo's here. He's always naming the celebrities that are. Oh, Piscopo.
All those AWA announcers sounded the same. Carnival barkers.
Right.
Vince loved him, or he loved taking him away from.
No, he loved Hurt and Vern. That's what he
took everyone.
Because none of them guys were any good. Rod Trongard. What's the other guy's name?
God damn it.
Ken Resnick.
Ken Resnick and Roger Kent.
Roger Kent and Jack Reynolds and Gene Okerlund. He stole them all.
Yeah. Reynolds was putrid. He was more of a Pro Wrestling USA guy.
But that was part of the AW. That was AWA.
AWA, Crockett, and Memphis. Yeah, we just watched a show that last time.
We just watched the first one, the last episode of this show.
Oh, that's the one I remember watching that when it first aired on WPIX Channel 11. You had what was it?
It was
Tony
Memphis.
Atlas and Butch Reed were tag teaming.
Yeah, exactly. We just watched that, man.
Yeah.
And Eddie
Very
Gilbert was the jobber on that first episode.
Yes, and Gilbert. Yeah, that's what we mentioned because
he was a jobber in the he won. He won.
They're all following us around, man. Moose is saying, Silva, that the Serrano bout got canceled minutes before the fight.
I know. She something in her eye. I don't know if they're gonna have to give refunds because they set a gate record for boxing in Puerto Rico with that show.
Wow.
They set an all-time gate record, and fans are pissed. They came to see her because she's Puerto Rican. So I don't know what's going to happen with the gate there. People deserve refunds. They came to see her.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Up for grabs here tonight at the beautiful Capitol Center here in Landover.
Well, I think we got lazy Don tonight, maybe.
Yeah.
This is him and Pedro love to do these sort of.
Oh, come
looks
on.
Looks like Rocky's happy to oblige.
Their match in the garden around this time was red hot. God, Lord.
Mm-hmm.
They realize they realize this show is a fucking dud. Like, he's like, Morocco's like, hey brother, they're just here to see Andre.
They were good friends in real life.
Yeah, really good. Yeah, exactly. Let's just take it easy. They're here to see Andre beat.
Andre's got his working boots on tonight.
Okay, he's leaning.
Oh, that's
into
a sexy.
Oh,
that's a sexy headlock.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Here we go.
World's sexiest headlock. I remember when I first started watching Coliseum tapes and Rocky was all over them. I was like, oh my God, what a physique! I was actually impressed. I hadn't seen anything.
I told
sexual awakening for young Kelly Nelson.
It was.
Yeah,
it was.
Hey, maybe me as well in some ways, because I didn't fall in love with Atlas and Johnson as a tag team just because of that they were good and that they were exciting. It was also because I was just like, look at those superhero bodies.
Yeah,
Nobody
looked like superheroes.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, totally superheroes.
Like you guys just watched the Pro Wrestling USA at Atlas and Butch Reed. They look like two superheroes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That Pro Wrestling USA didn't make any sense because at that point in time, Butch Reed was a heel in the Mid-South, and he's a babyface Pro Wrestling USA.
Right.
Well, that first episode was just like, hey, everyone's sending some people, and they put together a card, and we're going to do it in Memphis. And I found like the first 11 where this is what they do, and then right after that, it immediately just starts falling apart and becomes an all AWA show.
I enjoyed when Crockett was in control of it for about 2 months, right? November and December.
I think so, yeah. When I discovered it, when I first discovered it, it was 85, and it was an all AEW. It was on AEW show. Time traveling Tony Khan.
Was it early 85 or summer 85?
It was
early 85 was the big one in at the Meadowlands.
It was
85 had some 85 Pro Wrestling USA when AWA was in charge was some good shit. You had
it was good. It was good.
Jimmy Garvin, Mass Superstar, Mr. Saito. Billy Robinson as an evil foreign manager. Yeah, Kamala.
That's right. Kamala and Slaughter had a big
Sergeant Slaughter beat up everybody. What a tag team battle royal without a tag team partner.
Yes. Legendary.
Awesome.
And that was 19,000 fans.
Well, because wasn't the rumor
crazy?
Because in that was at the Meadowlands.
Yes.
And Jerry Blackwell was supposed to be his partner.
Were you at that show?
Yeah, I was at that show.
Holy shit.
And Robert. I was at the Night of Champions in May of
wow.
with the greatest match I had ever seen up until that point live, Ricky Steamboat versus Ric Flair. That was a great
match.
Wow.
That's an underrated historical card, that one.
Robert, we were just talking about that Pro Wrestling USA show on a previous episode of this show, and I'd said that that's my dream card to see all of it.
Oh, it was a great night. And the whole card's on, I think the whole card's on YouTube.
Is it
no,
all? Okay.
I think just part of it is, but
I think I've only seen Flair's Steamboat. Or
No,
maybe
I'm talking
wasn't
about.
there
Are you talking about February
Carlos
85 or May,
Colon and
or
Abdullah
May
the Butcher?
84, Johnny?
No, I'm talking about the one with the tag team battle royal
I
at
think
the
that
end.
whole card's on YouTube. The February
Oh
85.
man, that'd be amazing.
I think just an hour of it on YouTube.
Yeah,
It was
I
from
thought-
Japanese TV.
Oh, what a
Yeah.
great! But
Oh.
he's busted open.
No,
Hurley's out.
Whirly,
Yeah,
get
this-
up, you
A
lazy
dusty
motherfucker.
finish.
Goddamn Whirly. Good
Whirly,
for
you
nothing.
stink.
Where's your fast counts when we really need
Whirly's a
them?
racist. That's the problem.
Faking it.
Strongly worded letter from the Worley estate.
Uh-oh. Oh.
The Worley estate. That's a pretty good title.
That's not bad.
Like I
Big
said, I
body
like
drop.
Malibu's Poochers. I'll bring those dogs in a bit. Oh yeah, no, classic,
Oh, great
classic,
spot.
Yeah.
That's a
classic
great
Morocco spot. Yeah.
There we go.
Another thing about AW
His
85, they
head's
had a lot
busted
of
open.
potential.
Fuck,
I
look at
remember
the
when Jimmy
Oh.
Marvin brought in Butch Reed as his
gusher,
bodyguard,
man.
and he didn't
Yeah.
last but a few weeks.
Yeah, I don't even remember that. First thing I saw, the first show I ever saw, it was
Worley
the same day.
saved
it
a
was the
man's
same,
life.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, oh, yeah. Well, he only did it because he knows he'd have to fill out a lot of paperwork.
Hey,
No
what?
good. The same day I discovered Crockett was the same day I discovered Pro Wrestling USA, and it was the one where the Road Warriors do that to Kurt Hennig in the ropes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. That's like spring of 85.
Yeah, spring of '85.
Yeah.
And hit him with and Hawk hits him with the weakest chair shot ever.
Yeah, but they grew.
Was that
they
the
drew a lot of heat.
riot?
They drew a
And
lot of heat
there's a
for that.
riot, and there's
that
a
angle
riot,
drew a
yeah.
lot of heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. The Road Warriors that are punching fans on the way back to the dressing room.
I remember laughing my ass off. It was the first time I ever seen Baron von Raschke. And he comes out to save the day. And he's this old white man with fucking
Yes.
all flabby. And he's doing the and goose stepping like a
Still
Nazi. and
goose
people are
stepping, yeah.
cheering
Hey,
for him.
Johnny, you from South?
Yeah.
New champion.
What's that?
Johnny,
No.
you from South Jersey, right?
At that point, I was in Middle Jersey, but I got New York TV and Philly TV.
So how did you see Crockett? Was that TBS?
No, I didn't have cable.
Or
We
was
had
it the Spanish?
nope. It was Channel 17 out of Philadelphia had Worldwide
okay,
Wrestling.
you were able to get Philly because in New York in 1985, if you didn't have cable, the only way you could see Crockett, Channel 41 on Saturday afternoons showed what was it called? Mid Atlantic
Be right back, you
Pro
guys.
Wrestling
Mid-Atlantic,
in Spanish with Hugo Savinovich doing the announcement.
Oh, wow. That's great. Awesome.
And then eventually, briefly, as we've talked about before,
Channel 68.
U68, you'd get all the wrestling you could handle, including California Championship Wrestling.
That was the all day.
That was
thing or
the
whatever?
only horrible
It was
show.
there was an hour of wrestling on almost every night of the week.
It was 6 hours. They didn't show
Okay.
Sunday. It was Monday through
Not
Saturday.
Sunday, yeah.
You had UWF on Saturday. They showed the two Crockett shows, Worldwide and Pro, right? They
Yeah,
showed California Championship Wrestling. They showed
World
World
Class.
Class Wrestling. World Class.
Mac Rivera. I haven't seen him in a while. I remember this guy.
Jose Luis Mac Rivera.
Jose Luis Rivera.
Oh, is that Jose Luis Rivera?
Yeah, it
Same
is.
guy, same
Yeah.
guy.
I had no
For
idea.
some reason, he was Mac Rivera originally.
He's
And then
Mac.
in '84, they changed him to Jose Luis Rivera.
Yeah.
Hey, the Invaders would come around at this time. Who were the Invaders
Yes.
in the WWF?
Uh,
Jose Gonzalez and
oh,
who?
yeah, it's Holly's Gonzalez and I'm not sure. What, Johnny Rivera?
One
Yeah, I
of the
don't think it was
Riveras I was
Roberto.
going to say.
I don't think it was Roberto Soto. I think it was Johnny Rivera.
Yeah, I think it was Johnny Rivera. They were
Very
good.
unpredictable.
Oh, yeah. Hey, friend of the show. Is back again, the unpredictable Johnny Rods. Robert, there's a YouTube channel. It's the Johnny Rods YouTube channel, and it's awesome. It's just nothing but Johnny Rod shit from throughout his entire career. It's fantastic. It's
Let me tell you something.
fantastic.
Did you ever see his TV match in 1984 against Andre the Giant?
I know, but I've seen it on that.
It
YouTube
was
channel.
phenomenal. I mean, Johnny Rods
Wow.
was drop kicking, and he had Andre in trouble. I was
Awesome.
like, oh, Andre sold for this guy.
And we got to do that. Then we'll be
Crazy.
doing that in the future.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've never seen that match.
Oh, you guys got to check that out. It's Andre versus Johnny Roz. I think early '84, and
Because he had a match with Hogan in '85 on TV. I've seen that.
and then Roz fucked up. Andre gave him the butt splash, and it was a wrap. But Johnny Roz and Vince McMahon was losing his fucking mind. Johnny Roz.
Oh, wow.
It's unpredictable.
see
He
it.
may win.
Yeah.
I've seen him in tags in the '70s against Andre, but not as singles.
Yeah, that was probably the best Andre match, not in New Japan, I've ever saw.
Wow.
Because I know you guys remember that match he had with Stan Hansen in Japan.
Of
That
course.
Yes.
Oh my God. One of my desert island matches. Yeah.
Johnny Rods had a match with Stan Hansen.
No, Andre.
I want to see that.
I'm sure
It would have
maybe
been awesome,
when,
I'm sure.
was Johnny Roz always a heel enhancement worker?
No,
he would. Well, yeah, they had to face both heels and faces basically. Most
So
of
I'm
the
sure there's
acts,
matches with him against Stan Hansen on.
Well, what was his-
maybe from
maybe-
Allentown.
but he was a top guy in L.A. under.
El
right?
Java
Oh,
Root.
Yeah, with
Java
Roddy
Root?
Piper, right?
Yeah. He won the battle. I believe he won the LA Battle
did. He
Royal.
won the Battle
as
Royal
Java
one year.
Root. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was a big deal.
Vince Senior would send Mike LaBelle talent.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
they were good buddies. And LA TV, of course, was on in New York, right?
Yeah,
On the
they
Spanish
come on
channel.
Saturday afternoons, Channel
Yeah.
41.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robert, all
Yeah.
that shit is so fresh in my mind because I just recently, within the last month, read The Sheik book by Brian
Great book.
Solomon.
Brian
Great
Solomon.
book.
Brian Solomon, phenomenal writer. He's doing the Gorilla book. I can't wait.
Yeah,
for
I
I
can't
know.
wait for the Gorilla
God,
book.
me too, man. And I read Death of the Territories right before that.
That's
so
a phenomenal book. Tim
all, yeah,
Hornby.
all this shit is like still percolating in my brain.
Yeah. I got to read that Chic book. I've had it on Kindle for a couple of years.
It's
now.
phenomenal, dude. Especially the biggest.
Uh,
I don't know how to spoil anything, but if you know about this, like, and then the Sheik in his 50s, when things were getting bad, started doing blow. I was like, whoa, didn't see that one
in
coming.
the 50s.
They weren't when he wasn't making any money anymore either.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Not the best decision there, Ed.
Well, no,
I
he had ruptured his gallbladder and he was dealing with pain, and they said he was dealing with pain with a bit of booze, but then coke. And I was just like, I did a bunch of coke back in my day. I don't think it was a painkiller.
Ernie Roth was his manager for a while in Detroit.
Yeah.
Abdullah, what was it, Abdullah Farouk?
Yeah, Abdullah Farouk.
Yeah, for quite a while. I
Yeah,
believe.
for a while, and then he replaced it with Eddie Creechman, whose gimmick
Mhm.
was Jews hated Eddie Creechman because he was a sellout for being with the Sheik.
And it's funny because Abdullah Farouk was a Jewish guy pretending to
Yes.
be Muslim.
Yeah. And the Grand
gay
Wizard.
Jewish.
the
was
Grand
supposed to be
Wizard and Abdullah Farouk
yeah,
was basically
a
the same
rib.
wardrobe, right?
Man. Rods looks
Yes,
great in
yes,
this match.
Exact same.
Rods is great,
order.
man.
Rods
Rods is great, and Jose
Yeah.
and Mac Rivera was always good.
Well, not always, but he could
Yeah.
rise to the
Look how
occasion.
enough.
tight that is, man.
He must have took the Superfly splash 50 times in 2 years.
Uh-huh.
Of the both days, Johnny, Jose Luis Rivera, and Mac Rivera.
Uh-huh.
He had the imprint of Snook on his chest.
Clench fists and let's wrestle.
That's awesome.
Crowd's a multitude of different colors here tonight. Green and gold and red and stars and stripes. Holy.
They could
Come
the
on,
cops
busy.
should- the
In a
cops
word,
just could've-
busy.
Down to talking
Yeah,
about
they-
colors.
Yeah.
The cops could have
Vin
just
Scully, I am not.
Who's the ring announcer for this call? Did they show him?
think
I
they-
don't know who he was. I guess the local guy. I
Okay.
don't know his name.
All right, because I always enjoyed Gary Michael Capetta back then.
Yeah,
of course. We
Yeah,
love
Capetta
Yeah,
was
no,
great.
he didn't work.
He just
Cap
stepped
center.
right in, right hand on him.
I think he mostly did jersey cards if it wasn't the TV tapings.
He did Spectrum and Allen. Or
I
no,
thought the Spectrum was the child molester.
As soon as he stepped
Well,
in,
Spectrum had a few
Eventually.
guys.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Hey,
Eventually,
no, hold on a
Phillips,
second.
but
Hold on a second.
yeah,
You need to be
Capetta
more
did it.
hold
More
on.
specific,
Silva,
yeah.
you need to be more specific.
Mel Phillips.
There was only one child molester that was a ring announcer.
Mel Phillips.
Well, because
yeah.
Capetta had gone to Pro Wrestling USA by that point. Because he was sick of getting paid nothing. I don't know.
He was sick of getting molested.
He's
Remember
got
how
a
he
great
looked like
book.
a child?
His book is great.
Yeah.
You guys ever read his book? Gary Michael.
Yes.
No, I haven't.
Great.
I haven't.
Yeah, that's where the story comes from, where he went to Vince and asked for a raise and was basically told he was worthless.
But they fired him because they found out he was working Pro Wrestling USA behind Vince's back, but he wasn't getting any money.
That's right. Yeah. So yeah, at the Spectrum, it was Capetta, but it's also that really old dude sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So when did the
Spectrum
child
had a
molester
few.
take over?
Well, after Capetta was fired, I guess.
Okay.
85? Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Ben Phillips was the guy for most of the.
If
not
you
the
remember
garden,
at the All-Star wrestling tapings, after a while, after they got rid of Capetta, they didn't use a ring announcer.
Really?
No,
So I guess he
in
was
one corner,
valuable.
this is Mac Rivera. And in the other corner, debuting Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer. Oh, no, Bulldog Buzz Sawyer.
Yeah, they called him
It's
Bulldog.
funny because
Buzz
Vince
Sawyer,
Jr.
right.
was like the original Capetta in a way. One of the first things he did was ring announcing.
Right.
I remember
Early 70s.
I met Capetta briefly at a Ring of Honor show that he was at in 2005.
Did he do some ring announcing for Ring Announcer?
Yeah, he did a little bit of ring announcing. I mean, it was during the break outside, and I went up and introduced and told him how much I was a fan.
Well,
They say he's
thank
the
you,
nicest
young Johnny.
What's that?
They
Well,
say
thank-
he's the nicest
sorry.
guy.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. I think he's a teacher.
Yeah, he's a teacher, right?
Follows the Mystery Titans Theater account on Twitter.
I like to think he and Tito Santana teach in the same New Jersey school because it's
Yeah, I was just thinking the same.
that's
thing.
that's a TV show. I'd
You know who became a teacher for a while and he loved it?
watch. Vader.
Legendary actor.
Legendary.
Tom Berenger, the substitute.
No, not that guy. He had 2 hit TV sitcoms.
Dennis Franz. No,
And-
that's not
no,
sitcoms.
no. Tony Danza.
Tony Dad, that's right. I know
No,
he
that's
did become
right,
a
yeah.
teacher. Yeah, that's
'Cause they had a
hilarious.
He
reality
dance as a
show.
teacher,
Right,
really?
yeah.
He
Yeah.
was,
Philly.
yeah. And he
What's he
loved it.
Dan
teaching?
Philly.
What's he teaching? How not to
History.
act?
He was a history
Yeah, he
teacher.
was a history teacher.
Yeah.
But the show was so dumb because it just focused on all like the worst aspects of the school with, metal
Was this a
detectors.
reality
he,
show?
he wrote a
Rampant
book about
crime.
he wrote his book about his experience as a teacher, and when you read it, you're like, wow, he really loved teaching.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did watch
Hey
some of
yo!
those
Oh
shows.
wait! Here today. We're taking
Angela,
attendance.
Angela, you're gonna have to work harder, hon.
Samantha, is that a hickey?
This guy went from a boxer to a TV star, and then he went to college, got his education degree, and became a teacher.
Yeah.
Remember
Huh.
that fucking? Remember that? Yeah, I've rewatched every episode of Taxi on multiple
love that
occasions.
show.
I fucking
that
love him on that show, right? But do you remember that fucking daytime like talk show fun?
The Tony
like,
Danza
the
show.
Tony
Oh.
Danza show. The thing was so fucking terrible
It was
that
horrible.
it was fun to watch.
That was after Who's the Boss?
Yo,
Yeah, that was
much-
after.
yeah, much
Yeah,
after
yeah.
Who's the Boss.
Okay.
It is after.
I don't- I guess
Uh,
now I remember it, but I haven't thought about it in
What's his name?
how many years.
Tom
25
Sharpling always jokes that Tony Danza's just too dumb, so they always have to name his characters Tony. So he
Yeah,
knows
well,
they're
yeah, we were
talking
joking about
him.
that in high school, in junior high. Like
Yeah,
he would only answer to Tony, so they had to name all his characters.
characters
Tony.
Tony.
No, you're an actor, Tony. You're playing different characters, so you don't have to have the same name.
Huh?
Oh,
Oh yeah, I'm Tony. I'm Tony.
no, I'm Tony. Okay, you're fucking Tony again.
This one's a little too long as well, but
It's
still,
They-
still loving.
They have
the
everyone's
referee
got
needs to get in
plenty of
between them and
time.
say, "Go to the finish."
Yeah, go home, boys. Go home.
Let's go home.
Who is that? That's not a young Morella, is it?
No, I don't. Maybe.
Joey
Yes, it is.
Morello?
It is.
Yeah.
Joey Barella. I used
Showing
to love
some-
when Gorilla and Jesse would do
Yeah,
matches,
Jess,
and
yeah,
Jesse would make fun of Joey Morella, and Gorilla would no sell it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, Gino,
know.
look at that horrible Joey Morella. He's a disgrace.
The near
Oh, it's
ring.
Joey Morella. When they find out who made the call, what a surprise! So funny. Dude, I would love that shit so much.
And you also know that Monsoon is making the right call. Don't, because we don't acknowledge that that's my son. That's not in
100%, yeah.
of the show. But you also know he's being silent.
Yes.
He's got to be wanting to crack up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's holding
Popping the
back
boys.
from that.
He's definitely
Popping the
holding it
boys.
in.
Jesse's popping the boys.
Well, back then they didn't acknowledge siblings or father and son, because they never acknowledged Macho Man and Poffo. They never
No.
acknowledged Barry O and Bob Orton.
No.
Dude, they pretended nobody was married. And when you like till they finally like when they did, like Jake Roberts has a wife. What the fuck are you talking about? Nobody was married. Nobody had families.
Right.
Well, Jesse always called Gorilla Gino, though, and
Gino,
I didn't
yeah.
understand
Yeah,
I
that.
used to love that. I used to love
Me
that.
too. Me too.
Me
See,
too.
as a kid,
Come
I
on,
didn't know
Gino!
why. Why is he calling him Gino? It's not Mean Gene Okerlund. It's Gorilla Monsoon. It's weird.
Sean, going back to Tony Danza, says he's like Homer Simpson when he forgets he's supposed to have a new identity. Hello, Mr. Thompson. I think he's
He's
talking
right.
to you.
Stepping on his foot.
It's my favorite Homer voice. Can you pay me under the table? I got a bit of a tax problem.
Here we go.
Big man.
It's amazing that these guys worked together as long as they did. But I don't know if
Hated each other.
I don't know if Andre hated his guts the entire time.
Said Andre
just
hated him,
grew-
but
just
everybody
grew to.
said John Studd was the nicest guy.
That's just it. Well, that's just the thing. Everyone, it's one of those things where people like to still put Andre on a pedestal, but
Noble
apparently
friends.
John Stewart, John Stewart, yeah,
John Studd.
John
Green
Studd,
Lantern.
Big John Stewart.
yeah, Big John Stewart was apparently a very nice guy, and Andre
Well, look,
was a
You
prick.
caught me in the middle of taking a
Kamala was-
shit, boss.
Kamala
But
was
I'll
one of the
talk
nicest
sure.
guys, and
Yeah.
he had to bring a gun to the ring for Andre.
Uh-huh.
Right.
And Bad News Brown had to threaten him because he was saying the N word all on a
That's
toast
right.
bus.
And
Uh-huh.
Andre wouldn't get off the bus.
So
Yeah.
That's right.
Andre
Yeah.
was no
Oh no, Saint. Yeah.
he was no saint.
Yeah.
No,
that
no, he
was infamous. That was done really well in that the graphic novel.
Graphic novel. Yeah,
biography.
yeah. Fox Browns.
I'm gonna make you pay.
I don't know why he
To the-
hated John Studd so much. He used to stiff John Studd too in the ring.
Yeah. Or fall asleep.
Yes.
Those-
That was right around this time, I believe, in Philly.
Look,
That
Andre,
match.
look, that's a nice looking jacket on John
Yeah.
Stud.
It looks
Yeah.
like,
He looks, he
like a
looks
member
like
of the
movie star.
Oak Ridge. It looks like a member of the Oak Ridge Boys.
Look at him. Look at Chris Christopherson. Look at him.
Yeah.
He did not earn that $10,000. It seems that you and all these people out here think that I have to go in that ring.
Oh, play me some mountain music.
Well, he did do some acting in a few years from now.
Yeah, a little
Right,
bit.
right.
There was a graphic novel about John Stud. They turned him into like a superhero. I remember that was a thing.
Huh.
Oh,
And
Harley
one of
Davidson,
the- hey,
the
come
Marlboro
on.
Man. Look at
Yeah.
Harley. He was in the
Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man.
And guess who played his wife?
Television.
One of the most beautiful women that ever lived.
Bonnie Catane.
No,
Lonnie Anderson.
No. Vanessa Williams.
Vanessa Williams, right? All
Vanessa
right.
Williams played his wife in Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man.
Nice. Well done, Big John Stud.
Big John Stud. By the way, one of the great wrestling names.
Sure.
Definitely.
Remember he
First
won
time I heard-
the second Royal Rumble, but it was like the first one that I had ever seen. What up, boss?
Yeah, the first pay-per-view.
And I don't say that because my name is John, but I just thought I'm like Big
Oh, that's a
John
great name.
Stud was a great name.
Be a great porn name in the 70s.
Yeah,
too.
a
Well,
total
that's what I
foreign
mean.
name.
Even at age 13,
Johnny
I thought it was
Watt.
supposed to be a porn name.
Yeah. Sean said they can't decide if Big John Studd is Seals or Crofts. Definitely yacht rock adjacent.
I was 13 when I found Big John Studd. I'd read a Hustler. I'd seen some names.
There's got to be one that's considered great between these two. Oh, guys, does this mean we're gonna get to do that Puerto Rico show then at some point if we're doing the remake?
I don't know.
You know what was the match
Oh,
against
yeah,
Kamala in the cage was
we
a good
could.
match with Toronto.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good
I think Andre and John Studd have a good cage match. I want to say St. Louis, but it may be the next Cap Center show. I'm not 100% sure. That's not too bad.
Just waiting patiently.
I tell you,
It's just to say this match is going to be the drizzling shits. Just
Of course.
warned.
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm not 100. I don't.
We got Pete signed up for April 20th. You guys, hopefully you can. Stick
Oh,
around this-
finally.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then Marta
gonna
for May the
break his
4th.
chain.
Hey, cool. I was
Yeah.
gonna ask when
Yeah.
what it was gonna
I
be.
said May the 4th. Pick my Star Wars buddy. Perfect.
Great.
I wanted to have
She made
Jenny. I wanted to have
she
Jenny
likes-
the next one
Yeah.
in the 18th. So May would be our May is for the dames, but she can't do it. But we'll get Jenny as well.
Oh, cool. That's she's
Oh,
fucking
that's a great
hilarious.
robe Studs got on.
It is a great robe.
Mhm.
But Marta
This was the golden
must
era
also
of the
be
robe.
a Star Trek fan because she did she did a very funny Star Trek Voyager tweet the other day that
Oh,
made
yeah?
me laugh. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was definitely here's a joke for Star Trek nerds, and it
Awesome.
was very
And,
funny.
she's jazzed. She's jazzed.
Stepping over the top rope now, very gingerly. Referee did give him
Some
a count.
serious
Gingerly.
stalling here.
There's no way that Dick Worley would ever count.
Is
anyone
Dick
out.
Worley refereeing every fucking match?
Well, him and
No,
Joey
Joey
Morella.
Morella referee
Yeah, pretty
the
much
Oh, it's Morella. That's
the
right.
only-
Okay.
They're the alternating bouts here.
Because they used to say that Andre's thing is like, I'm the only giant around here, and Stud's just like, it's a gimmick.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha.
Andre ready to
And
go.
didn't Stud take some sort of growth
The psycho-
or something? And Andre
There's
didn't
rumors
like
he
that.
wore lifts.
They
He wore
said he did that
lifts.
while he was at Mid Atlantic in order to enhance his career.
Yeah, and that pissed Andre off for some
Yeah.
reason.
I heard he had his femurs extended. What, boss?
This.
He's
I
actually
can
only
slam you.
he's actually only 5'7".
Ugh.
Now get on John Studd.
Oh God!
Boss, I don't think that's the
remember
thing.
this.
Yes, I
Oh,
remember
dude,
this
this is,
show too. I've watched this.
Larry Zabisco.
They both
esque
died. so
stalling.
young.
Get your popcorn here.
Yes, that's true. Stud not too long after
After Andre, right.
Andre, yeah. Because his testimony at the Vince trial was by tape. It was taped. He couldn't
'Cause
be
he was
there
sick.
in person. Yeah,
Him out on his
so it wasn't too
He had
long.
Hod- he had
Yeah,
Hodgkins, I believe.
Hot
Yes,
copy.
yeah.
some choice over there. They-
Hey, that's what you want to bring to the wrestling match.
Yeah, walking through the front.
that
Look
Super
at this
8?
lunatic.
Oh, no,
I'll
that's
kill him.
That's
I'll
his
kill him.
nephew.
I'll
That's
tear his
Super 8's
face off.
nephew. Get in the
tear his-
fucking ring. No, he's like, I've had to sit through Charlie fucking Fulton, Matt Rivera. Get in the fucking ring.
Jesus,
Waiting
losing it.
for Big John Studd to enter to get this match
That guy was
going.
going nuts.
Still got the robe on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can admire a good.
I
Stall.
know, I
I'm
know, I
not
know.
anti-stall.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Savage was the best.
Pretty savage. And Zabisco stalls were sometimes pretty fun too.
Sabisco could stall you for 6-7 minutes.
At least, I think he said once his longest was 16 minutes or something.
Oh God!
Yeah, I don't know if I don't think it made tape, but yeah.
See, when
imagine
Macho
that.
Man
Hey,
stalled, though, he did it, and he would scream at you, and
Right, and get
Right.
everybody involved. Like there'd
And you
be
know,
numerous fires had to be put out before he could get into that ring again.
Yeah.
But Sean mentioned the Rougeaus were world-class stallers.
Yes, that's
and you
heel
know,
sandwich
the
and
great
wrestling.
stallers are probably the great stickmen in wrestling. They know how to please a woman because they take their time. and they work
Stalling
it
is
slow,
the
stalling and stalling. And
foreplay of wrestling.
Stick man.
Instead of
Kick it out
going
at 3.
straight to-
Keep kicking out at 3.
Dude, there are so many near, dude, a Rougeau's 3-way. There are so many near falls.
Dear God.
You know who did some
about
great
to
stuff?
not take a powder.
I just remembered when Jerry Lawler came to the WWF and he was feuding with Bret Hart.
Yes.
Stole the shit out of his matches. And it
Big
was,
time stalls.
Yeah.
Just with that chain. Or
Yep.
yeah.
Saw Johnny reach for the notepad there, Sean. Well done, pal.
You cannot appreciate how big these men are until you
How many high spots?
you see them really up close.
450s.
Within a,
Half.
Dueling 450s.
within
Well,
a
Andre
year,
could still go not too bad at this point.
I remember I had the
Within a
Big John
year.
Studd thumb wrestler. I had Big John Studd and Hogan.
Yeah.
I had Piper.
Yeah.
I was
think
16
I had
years
Studd
old,
and
and it
Hogan,
was
too.
hilarious because the Piper one was funny because they can't do the kilt, so it's just the blue trunks
Yes,
with
yes.
the t-shirt, and it just looks like a
That's
guy
right.
In the hole in the butt.
It looks
Yeah.
like a guy in his underwear
Yeah.
that you stick your thumb in his
And
asshole.
those were like cool toys with the only thing that was wrong with them was the hole in the asshole. They were like fine.
Yeah.
They were fine.
I had that
Sean had Stud and Hillbilly Jim.
Andre really cinched up on it now.
Hillbilly
Good
Jim.
combo.
Hillbilly Jim had been there before.
Yeah.
Uncle Elmer cornhole and
Yeah.
Hillbilly Jim
in
behind
89,
the
when
still.
Stud and Andre were feuding, when Stud was the babyface, when Stud left the promotion, Hillbilly Jim took his place and wrestled Andre.
Cousin
Yeah.
Junior.
That's right.
Cousin Junior's watching, just
Cousin
jerking
Junior.
off.
Already to the sort of rest home maneuver here.
The Raj. Yeah, I want another trap hold. Work another trap. There was like mad
Yeah.
there's trap work in that
The Fuji
in the
Hansen
hot
match.
in the rods match too.
Hey, did
So
Stud
funny.
ever get a chance to? Did they ever allow Stud to body slam Andre in a match?
I don't think so.
No.
You think
Yeah.
Andre would allow that? He hated the guy.
It's
No
funny
way.
because Andre did allow quite a few guys.
Because Harley Race, Haku.
The recently departed Butcher Vachon slammed him,
Oh,
and
that's
there's
right.
tape of that. Yeah.
Collateral damage of the MTTT curse.
Oh man.
That was a
Kamala
grenade. It took out
body
Virgil and
Now,
Vachon.
in the United States, how many people beat Andre? I know Ronnie Garvin beat him by count out, right? Jerry Lawler.
I think Lawler by
Mhm.
count out. The midget on the cover was the cover of a mag. The night
Yeah,
a
yeah.
midget beat Andre, and the midget
does.
was Jerry
Was that,
Lawler.
who was
Yeah,
that?
and
Ronnie
then-
Garvin or Jerry Lawler?
It was
It
Lawler, was
Lawler,
the midget they
and
were
it got
referring
brought
to.
up at the NWA meeting with Vince Senior, like throwing down the.
Bill
Mag-
Apter, right?
Yeah, he was throwing. Yeah, he
Yeah.
was throwing down the magazine. He's like, "What the fuck is this shit?" And blaming it on Lawler. Like Lawler and Jerry Jarrett were kind of like, and blamed it on the magazines, and then the magazines were kind of
Top.
verbatim for a while.
Don Leo Jonathan beat him in Montreal
Yeah.
early in
Did he
his
lose to
career.
any of the NWA champions whenever he got a title shot?
Well,
Not by
it was
pinfall.
Not by pinfall.
The Sheik beat him by count out
Okay.
or
He's over
disqualification,
here,
maybe
Vince.
both.
Well, you might have just mentioned it, but there's that Andre Harley Race NWA title match.
Yes.
It's right on the Houston footage.
He slams him out from Houston from the summit.
Yeah. What's that? 77.
I'm not sure
right?
the finish. I think 79.
79.
I want
Okay.
to say.
They're still not
I don't
doing
remember the
anything. Look at
finish
this
to that,
fucking
though.
match.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Make
Gotta
sure
go
the
another
towel
20
is
minutes, brother.
secure.
Think about how many, dude. Andre fucking passed out drunk in the middle of the ring during a John Studd headlock once.
Right.
You think about how
Yeah.
John Studd felt about all
Front
this shit.
face lock.
Can you fucking believe this?
Yeah.
His gorgeously coiffed hair by the end of an Andre match just smells like booze and cheese and shit. To the taps, brother.
French, really French too, extra
Yeah.
French.
There's a counter.
Andre's hot booze breath.
The 600 beers he drank. Yeah.
Finished a vat of Merlot
Nice, but Andre still left
for every
the
house show.
Oh, now he's turned it into an arm wringer. And a headbutt into the shoulder.
Nice work in the arm.
Mhm.
Don't see
Hey,
that
I'll
too
give
often
another-
from
hey.
the big guy.
I've been lately giving book recommendations. If no one's ever read Carrie Elway's little fun book about making the Princess Bride, I think
Yeah.
it's called As You Wish. It's a fun read. You can read it in a day. It's
Cool.
great, and the Andre stories are sort of
Right.
wonderful.
Yeah, I know that about how he kept Robin Wright Penn's head warm.
Head warm, but there's
Yeah.
there's a great one about him and about Elway's and Andre hanging out in bars in LA after the movie came out. That's fun to read.
Hmm.
Moose says John Stud happened when Michael P.S. Hayes got caught in a taffy pulling machine.
It pulled away all of his charisma.
Yeah.
Andre's got enough power to make anything happen.
Now, is it true Andre got the Freebirds fired?
I don't think it's
Well, it was contributed to it, I believe.
there was a lot of things. Buddy
was
Roberts,
Gordy
Buddy
doing
Roberts
something.
showing up for a meeting with Vince, who passed out drunk in the middle of a meeting with Vince. That certainly didn't help.
So far has not
Yeah, it was. Well, who left first? Was it Gordy?
Michael-
And then it was
Hayes was
just
the
the
last
two
one.
of them.
Hayes was the last
Yeah.
one.
Wasn't Hayes teaming with Pat Patterson at house shows at
Yeah,
one point?
because
there was
Really? I
nobody
didn't know
left.
that.
Yeah,
Wow,
as
I
a
didn't know that.
substitute. Yeah, just in the last couple of weeks. Yeah, it was a total disaster. But they were hot at the time, and they could still
And they
make
were giving
big
a
money in
big
the
push
other
right now
territories.
because they had Sidney Lauper and
Yeah.
David Wolf as their managers.
Yes, yeah. I know. Right at the peak of the rock and wrestling, or
Yeah.
the first wave, I guess you could say, of the
Yeah,
rock
because
and
it was
wrestling.
right after it was. They came in a month after Wendy Richter beat
Yep.
Moolah on that MTV special.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
and I'm not just saying this as someone who was just like, what, they're baby faces with Cyndi Lauper? That's stupid. They're the Freebirds. They should be heels. But even if you didn't know that, I've seen that entrance. Michael Hayes looks like he could be a baby face, but Gordy and Roberts coming out with Cyndi Lauper cheering them on like a cheerleader. It's like, this doesn't look right. I'm sorry.
No.
I think it would have been best that they just brought in Michael Hayes by himself.
Yeah,
Which-
that's a good
which they
call. Because
eventually
remember,
did.
Johnny, when he came to World Class, it was just Hayes at first,
That's right.
and he was super over as a babyface, cutting like super fired up promos, and they were hot before the big angle with the Von Erichs. They were hot
Right.
baby faces.
It's the one thing I really hated about the Iron Claw is the inconsistencies of the actual feuds. Kelly, really, just be minor.
Yeah, I know.
I enjoyed that movie, but
They
there was
didn't find room for Gary Hart and the One Man Gang. That was a
You know,
complaint. I saw
Missing Link.
online.
I mean, Missing Link could have just popped off the screen.
5
and
seconds.
the real
of
missed opportunity.
MJF.
Yeah, MJF was an
5 seconds.
they didn't even
I was
say
like,
who
hey,
he
was
was.
in it. He was
Yeah,
in it at least.
But he was
It's
Lance
fine.
Von Erich. Yeah. That was a
Because
good
it was
movie.
because it is a good movie, and the reason they cut it was because you're trying to be like, all right, there's so much tragedy in the story that we actually have to leave out a brother. Do we also have to go? And they go, and is there really time for? And then look at this fucked up thing he did with a fake cousin. No one cares.
Yeah. I mean, they did show the scene where they were
Yeah,
teaming, or he
Yeah,
was teaming
yeah.
with
He was
Kevin.
in the
That was
scene and
it.
worked. That was
5
fine.
seconds.
Yeah.
That was fine. Brutal Brody really wasn't that jacked and never really teamed with Gino.
Here, this
Hammer.
is the spot, the exact spot where Andre falls
Fell
asleep in the
asleep,
Philly.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's testing it out. I'm so close. I'm edging. That's what Andre's fetish. Fetish is
This is
falling
this
asleep.
is Tantric Andre.
Trying to reach REM, boss.
Okay, Tantric Andre. I'm just throwing it out there. Not
Tantric
bad, but
Andre.
I'm not using it. Sting learned it with Andre.
Nice done. He got a 2 count, and that's all.
I'm talking about the rest
No
of
nap
it.
tonight.
There's that big boot landed
Oh!
on
Oh!
Right in his pride and joy, that hair.
Oh God.
Oh, that
This
was a
crowd
great
has just
angle.
been
Studded Patera
tortured
versus SD Jones and Andre.
Legend.
Yeah, were you? Okay, Robert, were you watching that as it happened on Saturday?
I was watching as it happened, and I was in shock.
Yeah, you know what? I wasn't in shock because I was just like, oh, what's this? This is weird to be on TV. Andre and SD, he loses all the time. What the fuck is gonna happen here? And Andre has, as Vince is yelling, his dignity is being raped.
He is being raped, yes.
Yes. One
But
of
SD
Vince's
Jones
great
must
calls.
have been a substitute for somebody, because there's no way they could have booked him.
No, that's how they booked it. They're like, look, Andre teamed up with a loser, and that cost him because SD was a job guy.
But
Poor
Andre
SD.
often teamed with guys way lower than him.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
Rick
but this
McGraw,
on
was
the
against
pecking
Southern
order.
Patera.
Rick
Come
McGraw,
on.
Steve
Yeah.
Travis. Yeah.
I knew something was going on.
Rick McGraw,
Steve
and then this
Travis.
Johnny Rivera in the 70s.
Yeah, I knew something. I knew something was fishy. Raped him of his dick. Raped him.
Bit of trouble here, ladies and gentlemen.
Then they filmed it.
So when he did,
Go ahead.
no, go ahead, Robert.
So I was saying, a year later, they filmed an angle where Bundy splashed him several times, but
Yeah.
they soon forgot about it. They didn't follow up on it.
They did a big match at MSG between them, but that was about it, I
And
think.
that was right before the Bundy Hogan angle.
Not too long. And the angle where he hurt Andre was from a match at Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto.
Right.
And yeah, they showed that on TV quite a bit. But yeah, I
And
don't
then
know.
I don't remember what was the storyline reason that Andre was suspended, and that's why they did the machine.
That's right. There was the suspension. Well, I think it was
One of my
actually probably Robert.
earliest
Robert-
wrestling memories is
He
that
just
the
don't think it was
machine.
because
right?
Andre's back was just totally fucked. He couldn't
Yeah,
even
yeah.
wrestle. I think
The
that's why
machines
the
and then
Bundy
and Bobby
thing, but-
being pissed off, like that's clearly Andre the Giant. Or no, it was Bobby Heenan.
It was
That's
Bobby
clearly
Heenan. You know,
that's
and
clearly
Bruno
Andre
going,
the Giant.
and Bruno going, well, you don't like Vince because he's the big giant Baba
Giant
for all we
Baba.
know.
That's
Great. It's great.
awesome.
Well, he's
What was
supposed
the
to be
storyline
Japanese.
reason that he was suspended?
Yeah, I don't remember. It was something. Maybe
He
it was,
missed. I think it
He
was
missed
he
a
missed
match or
show.
something, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was.
I believe it was a missed.
I love that shit because I thought
Yeah,
the
me
mask
too.
looked cool, and by that point I'd already seen it in Crockett, and one of my favorite gimmicks of all time is babyface loses, a loser leave town unfairly and comes back under a mask. It's clearly him, but the heel has to prove it. As one of my favorite gimmicks of all time. I even loved it when they did it with fucking Hogan as Mr. America. I might be the only guy who liked that at the time.
First time I saw it was they used to show Florida wrestling in New York, and Christmas '82 match between Kevin Sullivan and Dusty Rhodes. Jake Roberts as the fake Santa Claus. Causes Dusty to lose, and then the next week the Midnight Rider.
Midnight Rider.
That's right.
And around that same time,
and of course, Charlie Brown from out of town.
Charlie Brown
and around that same time, Junkyard Dog got screwed by Ted DiBiase, and he comes out as Staggerly.
Yeah, there was a lot.
There was a bunch, man. I loved every single one of them. Yeah, the weird one. Okay, the weird one is Magnum TA and Dusty as the James Boys, because
I love that. I love that. But
here's the thing. They didn't lose the loser leave town match. This is when Magnum TA and Dusty Rhodes wanted to lynch a motherfucker. They wore masks. It's really dark because they almost killed Jim Cornette for real.
No, but they did that in order to get a match with the Midnight Express because they refused to wrestle Dusty.
Right, but do you remember?
Eliminated.
Andre
the Giant has been eliminated.
They did that bit where they tied a rope around Cornette's neck, dragged him out, tied the rope to the back of their pickup truck, and we're going to drag him with a noose around his neck. And they were taken off, and they didn't time it right. The Midnights got there just in time to get his head out of there, or they would have popped his fucking head off on television.
This is crazy.
Come
Yeah,
on,
so
where are we
Moose,
gonna hold
confirmed he was suspended for failing to appear. And
All
then
right,
Yeah.
so he missed the match.
and Sean said, "Yes, Bruno, it could be Baba because Andre is also built like a potato with toothpicks for arms."
Listen, if I wanted to hear from an asshole, I'd ask. I'm just, who the fuck
I'd
are you?
fought. I'd fought.
I'm the living legend, you little mulyan.
Wow. Oh, this
Big
ended
time.
pretty heated. Yeah.
Big time enhancement talent.
Oh boy.
Well, Andre
Cavalry
mad
here.
because he got dropped over the top rope.
I'll
Oh,
kill him.
Tony's in there. Korea's in there.
Here we go.
Oh,
He's about to do.
why would they?
Oh, what the hell?
Why would they stop that?
It looks
No,
like a
it's
bunch
not
of
official,
munchkins.
Andre.
It looks like the munchkins from Munchkins Lab have come
Sal
running in to
Balomo.
Come
stop.
on, Andre.
Jose Estrada.
Come on, boss. Boss.
Come on, the Lollipop Guild is not cool with your shenanigans.
The Lullaby League will hear of this, boss.
The angle where American heroes Dusty Rhodes and Magnum TA commit a hate crime is what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
It's wild, man. Because
It's
they only
wild.
wear the masks to fucking dispense, to dispense
Outlaw
country
justice.
justice.
Yeah.
Jeepers creepers.
Why were they so against Cornette at that point?
Because Cornette had hit Baby Doll in the
Right.
stomach
Oh, okay,
with,
yeah.
with
And-
his tennis
she
racket
was
and
pregnant?
possibly no, she wasn't pregnant, but they possibly hinted
it-
that she might never be able to have children
Never have
after Jim
children,
Cornette
right?
hit her in the
God.
gut.
That was
Ugly.
something in one of the first after mags I ever bought that I read, and it's like, what the fuck? I didn't even.
Probably
that
read that
was too
at
dark for
too
me.
young of an age. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. But that was definitely from that. Yeah, the Bash
As
86.
members
like,
of the
time.
Jobbermen Guild.
Yeah, and no, and then
Very good,
which led
Sean.
to a series of 6-person tag team matches, right, all around the Bash. Sometimes in a cage
Right.
with Baby Doll,
Yeah.
Baby Doll, Magnum, and Dusty versus the Midnights and Cornette.
Right. Wow.
Oh
And
boy!
during the middle of
That's
that
crazy.
feud,
Why would
turned
they
it-
push him
turned it-
down?
Well, you gotta cool it. Yeah, I know it makes
Yeah.
no sense.
Oh
This
God!
is the cool
main
down.
event, main
Cool
event
down.
in any arena, Jess.
Cool
Bob
down the
Bradley,
audience.
who was
Bob
who was
Bradley.
a
Look at
trained-
that
Bradley.
Head back.
the
The
murderer. trained-
heat will rock you. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Baby, don't you know the heat will move your
One of the few
soul?
wrestlers trained by the
Hey!
Ah, come on,
Bob
come on, come on, come
Bob
on.
Bradley's got hops.
Yeah. Love me today. Feel my
other
heat.
guy that he was trained by Snooker, and he must have taken the Snooker splash about 50 times during this time.
Who,
period.
Bob Bradley? Bradley?
Yup.
So let me tell you something, brother. When you're dealing with a woman, here's what you need to do.
And then say she slipped on the ice taking a pee.
You can
Afterwards.
always.
But you also got to
use the
make
ice.
sure that another wrestler nearly dies too on the same night. So people are actually more concerned about that.
So what you gotta do, brother, is reach up to the stars like the Superfly and look into the visions of the ancient ones and cut Eddie Gilbert's breaks the night you want to beat a bitch.
Ladies and gentlemen, Shel Silverstein.
Where the snooker
Mhm.
ends.
Sioux City,
I
Iowa.
can
From the
see
home office in Sioux City, Iowa.
I can see fucking Vince sees that. Who the fuck told him to wear a headband?
And was he one of the
Yeah.
conquistadors?
Dirk Diggler.
Yes. Yeah, it was him and Jose Luis. were
Right,
there.
right. They were the conquistadors, right?
Tell the cops
Yeah.
she keeps falling on doorknobs, brother. Says Sean Emily. Oh my god. It's a dark one tonight.
Adored, yo, brother, when you live here to the waterfalls of Fiji and see the crystal clearness, you realize the doorknobs are your man's best friend.
Fellas wrong. Jose Estrada right off in a hurry. Big right hand, not wasting any time.
You notice they don't bring out Tamina to be in the bloodline, right? Right.
Yeah.
And which is
Yeah,
it's
why
not
is
her
that?
fault. It's not her fault, but I mean,
Because she's just horrible.
she's there. She's there.
Yeah, but there's some people they don't put in the bloodline that's part like Nia Jax, she's
Nia Jax was kind of
Yeah,
like
she's not in it.
I saw
either.
somebody said a plastic bag flew into the tree. That's
And,
what Nia Jax
and,
is in the
and, um,
family tree. There's so many good tweets about that.
and Naomi. They could also put a Naomi in the
No,
bloodline.
they put it. No,
That's
when
right,
when the Rock came out and did his big graph of the entire family, I think
Mhm.
Naomi's in it. She's a branched off from the
Right.
Jimmy, right? Yeah.
Very dangerous hold also for the one applying.
Oh, he had me screaming last night when he said Solo. He doesn't smile. He's happy.
That segment was insane, and everyone reacted to it. I could see both sides because
I love that fucking segment.
literally was so fucking long that I was even going, fucking get on with it. But it was also great at the same time, but it was way too long. But
the one problem
but the live audience was eating it up and going fucking crazy. It's a really weird experience.
The one problem I have with it, I don't know how you can rectify it, is he's so much larger than life than everyone around him when he's talking.
Yeah.
Like Roman, who's a superstar, looks just like a regular dude.
Yeah.
When the Rock is talking.
Yeah, and also Roman's dressed like a high school track coach out there. But I think they're already building seeds of that being an issue between them.
I don't think that I don't watch, but I'm assuming they can't keep them together for too long.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of reminds me of The Nation when he was outshining Ron Simmons.
Yeah.
That would be a good sort of
yeah, we need what's his name to do that big roll of the eyes. Roman needs to do that big roll of the eyes, like the way when Ron Simmons was cutting that promo. You know the famous one when he's like, "Hey, I'm in charge here," and
nice.
Well, there's no indication, but there's a feeling that they're like, okay, the way this is being set up, the main event of the second night is going to be like an anything goes wild fucking match.
Right.
And The Rock is like, and there's nobody, not one of you trailer park trash, that could tell me what to do. And it can't be Triple H because his heart will explode. And I predict in the middle of it, out of nowhere, glass breaking fucking Austin comes down and negates the fucking Rock, in the middle of this giant overbooked thing that I'm going to be watching with Danzo in New Jersey.
Nice.
Yeah, I saw someone post that on PWO today or yesterday or whatever. Makes sense. I don't want Triple H to get involved. I don't even care. I don't know why I care. I'm not watching, but even when I'm not watching, I don't want Triple H to have any kind of spotlight anymore.
Yeah, I hate Triple H, but he's doing a hell of a fucking job.
I guess as a booker, he's a lot better than Vince, late career Vince McMahon. That's for sure. But as a wrestler, the last 20
I couldn't
plus
stand
years of Triple H, I couldn't stand. Yeah, no matter what they did or how he did things.
Right, the package there on
Estrada.
Estrada.
Yeah, I did notice that. He had a great beard at this time too, like almost James Harden.
Yeah, James Harden. Yeah, totally.
Looking like a mini Bad News Brown.
Yeah, also Bad News Alan Brown. Yeah,
it's like Bad News Brown meets Thomas Ciampa. Tommaso Ciampa.
Most referees just.
What you guys think of Braun Breaker? I think he's gonna be a future star.
What's that?
Braun Breaker. What you guys think of Braun Breaker?
From what I've seen, I haven't watched any of NXT recently, but has he been put up on the main roster?
I think he's in the main roster now.
Yeah, he is now. Yeah.
I don't know. It seems like they're keen on them. I honestly haven't watched a single Braun Breaker match.
Yeah, I haven't.
But
either,
it looks like
Robert.
He wrestles exactly like his father.
Really?
Yeah. He's
the spitting image of his father.
Yeah. The name I wasn't too enamored with. I'm still not, because he originally wanted to be Rex Steiner, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Or they trademarked that, but then they didn't go with that. And I thought Rex Steiner sounded cool.
Mm-hmm.
tired in a match.
King Steiner. I
Some of
remember
the names
all
they
the
come
different
up with are
dog
just
names. Yeah, I know.
Ron, like Breaker with 2 Ks.
I know. I know.
Yeah.
You're literally at the mercy of your opponent.
It reads tertiary character to me, like in like some sort of yeah.
It's just a non-name.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
don't know how they create these, or a lot of the times they would take like a famous name, either a first name or a last name, and then use it for a wrestler, right? Like
Oh,
from a
Mhm.
celebrity.
like John Morrison.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's
Yes.
plenty of other examples that I can't think of off the top of my head, but yeah. Dykstra, or not, was it Dykstra? Yeah, there was
Yeah,
a Dykstra
What
once.
was it? Kenny
Yeah.
Dykstra, which sounds like Lenny
Kenny
Dykstra.
Dykstra. Yeah, that's right.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, they love to do that.
Moose, like they called Pillman Jr. Lexus King, so his fans
Yeah,
started calling themselves Lex offenders. And then Sean said Ciampa's promos would be a lot better if he started calling everyone a sharecropper. That's good. I like it.
All right.
He embraces the bad news.
These two meet again, there's going to be fireworks.
Yeah.
Man, we loved bad news growing up watching Stampede. Robert.
Oh, I'm sure you did. Did you? I've never seen. I don't know if it's available. The Riot when he turned on
It
Archie
is
Stomper. Yeah.
partially, yeah. Like the actual footage of the riot is not out there. It cuts off just as it's starting. You can hear the crowd, like a woman screaming, and like a brief rush, and then it cuts off, and then it goes to the Stomper,
the
promo
famous
in the ring
promo. Yeah.
That was a hot end.
Now in Calgary, he was this great promo, but in the United States, he was mute.
Yeah, I think all because he was the Mongolian Stomper, and he wasn't
Those are some
supposed to speak
fucking
English.
Stomps, man. Look, strong
but the
style.
funny thing about bad news for me, and probably for Travis too, is the first time we saw him in Calgary, he was a babyface. He had returned and was trying to get over Good News Allen as his name, but it didn't. And he feuded with Honky Tonk Wayne, the future Honky Tonk Man, just before Honky Tonk left for the WWF. And then he turned heel again against Owen Hart.
Yes, I remember him using a fork, and it really scared the heck out of me.
Yeah. But no, legendary in Calgary. That whole angle, the angle with the Stomper is, I met people in Victoria and British Columbia like almost 20 years ago that grew up watching Stampede in that era, and they were like, that was the first thing they talked about was that angle. Like it always would come up as the most memorable thing they saw as a kid. And unfortunately it sort of led to the end of Stampede, the first or the main maybe not the first, because it had many different incarnations over the years, but the most long lasting version, that was the beginning of the end of it.
Oh, look at that.
Because the version that Travis and I watched was the last,
one of the three victories
reboot
Bob Bradley had in his WWF career.
Yeah, not too many.
Yeah, like Monsoon was like, "Do you believe in miracles?"
And Estrada having to do the honors too. That sucks. I've always liked
that.
Estrada.
Does suck.
Yeah, but that was
almost.
I mean, those guys worked harder than most of the other talent we saw tonight.
The strikes were definitely harder. And Estrada, I mean, he's always
V-trigger.
Not bad. He's always been good in my book.
Where's my headband? Thank you.
Like, is he a heel? Is he a babyface?
You got the touch.
That's like John McEnroe at the time.
Yeah,
that's
totally.
The look.
Are you kidding me? To Bradley, or to what's his name? Whirly, right up in his face. Oh man, a couple of Tonys on the way out.
Wow,
oh my god.
Tonys.
This is an all-time great. An all-time great Mystery Titans Theater card.
Oh, just in time.
Oh my god.
The Tony War. There was a show we watched not long ago where we didn't get the Tony Altamori match
I know.
the Philly show, the last Philly show. So now
Right.
we're
That's
getting
what
him.
sealed the deal about me wanting to do this as a remake was
Yeah.
this match.
got this one.
Here we go. Oh my God. I've
There
never
we go.
seen Tony Altamore wrestle. Holy crap.
This is the
He's-
first time
he's-
I've ever seen him wrestle.
It's Uncle
Oh,
Leo
really?
from Seinfeld.
Oh, wow.
Yes, totally. He does not look ring ready.
Oh
He's-
no,
He's
I don't
79
know what
years
he's
old.
doing.
Right.
He's quite well. I mean, he was Lou Albano's tag partner in the
Right.
'60s as the Sicilians.
Yeah, he's an old man.
Didn't
Watch
they get a
this
lot of
just
heat
doing
from the
like-
mafia? Didn't they get a
Yeah,
lot of
they
heat?
did.
In Chicago, the
Chicago.
Chicago Mafia. Yeah.
Frank Nitti showed up at their they showed up at Albano's apartment.
That doesn't happen by accident, ladies and gentlemen. You've got to have a lot of
Lou knew who actually killed JFK, I think.
Uh-huh.
on pro wrestling circuits for many, many
Sam
a year.
Giancana, right?
Knows how to do it. They'll give Tony a run
So
for
they got the
money.
idea for the scene with
Why is he?
Connery.
He wasn't a regular back then. Was he just doing a favor?
No,
He
he
popped
wasn't.
gun here and there.
Yeah. Every once
They had
in a
no
while.
fucking
Here-
roster in 80. This was before they gobbled
Yeah,
everyone up. They had no roster.
83. They made a ton of money in '83 when and they had such a limited roster.
Onslaught of
Snuka was
sensational-
hot though. That was the
Yeah,
key
Snuka was
for
the thing.
1983.
That what it was all about because I wasn't watching 80 in 83. I was aware of it.
Cut him out.
But the thing I was most aware of was Jimmy Snuka.
Yeah.
Kids were talking about Jimmy Snuka. All the magazines had Jimmy Snuka on the cover with all
These
bloody. and
kids keep
shit.
coming into my room. They're not buying anything. Look, I smell something. Like this guy
He's
is
smoking that
yeah,
hippie lettuce.
yeah, I smell
Yo.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, they
yeah, I
probably
see you.
would.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
You think
That's
I
so
don't
funny.
notice?
In a very
that's so funny.
Jesus, what a bump.
Those are
my
clean
Hey.
cut
Yeah,
kids.
necessary.
Tony Gurria pulled his hair.
They're saying Korea pulled his
Pulled
hair.
his hair.
I love it. It might be my new favorite wrestler, Tony Altamore. We're gonna go to Tony
I'd
Altamore
forgotten.
deep dive.
We've seen.
I'd forgotten about
We
this.
we've seen at least one
Really?
Tony
Mhm.
Altamore
Okay,
match
okay.
on
From,
this show, right?
1975.
Okay,
and
okay.
this-
So
and he was washed up at that
He
point.
was washed up then, too?
Yeah.
crazy.
This is 8 years later, but he wasn't wearing a tank top.
Yes, I would
75.
remember this guy.
Tony Altamore.
I
What
would
about-
remember.
But
How
it-
old is he in this match?
Like, I want you to execute me
I got
right
it.
here in front of
Put me out of my
everybody.
misery. Put me out of my misery.
On his knees,
Look,
telling
that
Tony-
Jim does not want him wearing that shirt. Okay,
Yeah.
that Jim is not happy about this product placement.
Damn it,
Maybe he
Tony.
owned it.
Damn it, Tony.
Tony should let him have
John Emily says Altamore looks like the only reason he can work this card is the cap center's not within 500 feet of a school or church.
former world champion, superstar.
So he was a year older than Baron Cicluna.
He was 54. Tony Altamore
54,
lived
yeah.
a hard life,
He looks
motherfucker.
77.
he
Oh my!
lived
God.
until 2003.
How old is he here? Did you say?
54.
Oh my God.
How old was Albano?
matches.
Albano was
Hey,
5
hey,
years
that's
younger.
pretty spry.
I'm gonna kill
Kill
this
you,
son
you
of a-
motherfucker!
You're too old to be in the ring.
Out of the spring.
Probably something.
Oh,
Match
so
has got me infuriated. This whole
Gurria, I
night.
think, was smirking there.
So,
yeah.
none of the managers.
This is elder
Show.
abuse. Jesus Christ.
Hey guys, here's Anakin. This is one of Brady's puppies who's been hanging out with us.
Oh.
Such a sweetheart. Such a sweetheart.
Aw,
Certainly doesn't have any.
Anakin.
Yeah, I understand.
You guys have Manchi cheese in Canada?
Yeah.
What is that thing?
He's such
Is
a
it-
nice guy. And there's Nora. You
Hi,
guys see
Nora.
Nora?
Hi, Nora.
You say hey.
What breed is that?
It's a cross between Yorkie and teacup poodle, something kind of thing. Really cute.
And an actual teacup, like a fly
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah. He's such a nice guy. He gets really excited when I come home.
This illegal hole or not?
Thanks, pal.
Uh-oh.
That's cool.
Someone is thinking about a dog now. I think I can tell.
Yeah, you may have
Oh,
to
Nora
get it
loves
done.
dogs. Nora loves dogs so much. Nora, can you close the door?
No knows he must come to
Tell you
the
what,
show to get a-
I've been to your lovely home, and if you do get a dog, you're gonna need to get one of them teacup ones.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
This is Joey Morello, right? Refereeing.
Yeah, I think we figured
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
I think we have only got 2 officials tonight.
with the deep V on that ref
Skeleton
shirt.
crew here.
And he looks good. You know.
Oh, he didn't have
Both
any
of them
choice
have tattoos.
on him. One false move and he'd have got it.
Baltimore.
They were in the Merchant Marine together. That's the story I'm creating in my head for this match.
Baltimore.
Scored one time.
Nice.
Here's, can you see?
Korea.
This
Oh,
picture.
Robert, I noticed this. So Garea was recently on the Briscoe and Bradshaw
wow.
show.
Oh, he
Hey,
That's
was?
a young
Yeah,
Baltimore.
listen to that one.
yeah. And he lives in Florida now. He's retired in Florida. No shit, right?
Hello, Baltimore.
World Wrestling
Yeah,
Federation.
and
He's furious.
There's the Sicilians.
Yeah,
got-
coming out at him.
yeah.
Wow.
Well, Altimore's got the upper hand here.
Yeah,
How old is
his-
Garea now, Johnny?
I don't know, but he still has glorious head of hair, silver, the silver fox, and his accent is crazy because it's New Zealand via the Bronx because he lived in New York his entire life. It's
Wow.
yeah, it's this
Oh, it's
weird
a-
amalgamation. It's a weird
Entire adult
amalgamation.
life.
It's great.
Hey, Kelly, did
Tony-
Tony Garea wrestle any other territories besides New York?
Baltimore.
I think he went to
He
yeah,
went-
Crockett in the late 70s, early 80s. A bunch of New York guys went there.
What
around
are
the
you,
same time.
Korea?
Yeah.
Pedro Morales, SD Jones, Garea, maybe some others.
He looks like a landlord that
Oh,
a landlord that Korea would have to deal with during his time as a real estate agent. Damn it, Korea!
no,
You
he had hired Altimore as to be the maintenance man at one of his his properties, and he was doing a shitty job. And at Blue and Gold Realty, there's only one way to settle
Blue and red, you son of a
Blue and
bitch.
red. Oh shit! At Blue and Red Realty, there's only one way to settle a disagreement, and that's in the ring, mother.
I hear voices in my hair.
In my hair.
Wow, he kicked out of a
That's so
sunset flip.
Yeah.
I mean, Altimore is better than
That's a
Lou
throwback.
Albano in the ring. Albano as a manager
Oh,
wrestler.
nice.
It's
Oh no!
Nice. There we go.
That's
All
it.
right.
nice.
This is a good match, man. This was a good match.
Yeah,
This
that
is
was one of the better
best
matches
match on the
tonight.
card. Yeah.
I think I don't know. You got to
It was
maybe
the-
give
like
it
in-
to, I don't know, Rocky Johnson and Morocco by default. I don't know.
Well, there's more talent in that, but they had like long rest holds and
Yeah,
shit. And,
blood,
like,
yeah.
This was always.
This-
oh yeah, you're right. It had a good
Yeah.
finish.
Yeah. No, but,
But
this,
this is
yeah,
like-
you're right. This
Did
was
not expect this.
Tony or Altimore had a bunch of great shtick
Yes. Yeah.
going.
Yeah, I didn't expect it either, Travis. I totally thought Altimore was going to pull out the win here in the shadow of our nation's
Yes.
capital.
Altimore never fixes the radiator, says Sean. Damn it,
Tony G
Altimore.
wasn't getting too many wins at this point. This was now into his loser phase.
And me Spider-Man underoos.
You can't just bang the radiator with the wrench.
Oh
And
wow.
our final match of the night.
Wow,
Here we go.
nice.
Hey,
Aren't we lucky?
Salvatore.
Oh, this was when they were giving.
Is it
Salvatore
Kung Fu,
Baroni a
Billy
huge
Graham?
push.
Yeah.
At this
it
time?
is.
Oh,
Kung
Jesus.
Fu Billy Graham.
And you'll
It said
this was
superstar.
one of the parts I remember the most from the first was the state of Billy Graham in this
Oh, the
match.
only manager that traveled to the show today.
Yeah. But look at him. He's just all flabby.
Oh, jeepers.
Like, look at how, and when he came back in 82 as Kung Fu Billy, he had the same physique as superstar Billy Graham. And just a few months later now, he's completely wasted away.
And just think,
Grand Wizard.
in 2 years from here,
yes,
he's in Crockett,
he's
juiced
back
to the
again.
gills again.
I know. It's crazy. And this has got to be one of the last appearances of Grand Wizard,
Yeah,
I
definitely.
believe.
No, he didn't die
Yeah.
till October.
Oh.
I
Yeah,
know,
well,
but I
when-
don't
when
think
did he
he's
go off
on.
the
This
road?
allows me
I
to
guess
make
on-
films on Pornhub. This outfit.
I guess on TV, regular Saturday TV, he would have still put on.
Yeah, he was on until even after he died. They showed him in a segment of Rogers' Corner.
Okay, but he's looking a little. Yeah, he's not moving too fast here.
The Grand Wizard making porn.
Great. I love
understand that
Great man.
siblings is a thing. I don't get it, but apparently that's what you sickos are into.
Apparently, my stepmother has got her hair stuck in the dishwasher.
Again. The noble sheik will take care of this situation.
Superstar looking for some additional recognition, and rightfully so.
He calls him in.
Many guys. Billy Graham is one of them.
Oh, that's funny.
What? He stopped juicing? What the hell?
Yeah,
Yeah, look at him.
Yeah, he
yeah.
must have.
Graham is the one who looks like he's sick. Says Sean for
Yeah,
sure.
that was I think the joke Marv and I made was Graham
He
looked
looks-
like the one who would be dead by the end of the year, not
He
the
looked like
wizard.
a 65-year-old man.
Yeah.
Well,
For his first job,
he was on
where he belongs.
quite a journey of
Yeah.
drug
read-
exploration.
I read his book. Billy
phenomenal
Graham's
book.
book is
Phenomenal
pretty
book.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the better ones, that's for sure.
It was crazy. Just a couple years after he was WWF champion, he was working construction. He wasn't
Yeah.
even.
Yeah, he was digging ditches, I think. Or
I think
something.
you're really cute.
He had totally he was depressed because he
Please,
lost the title.
can you call my mother afterwards to make sure that she leaves the door open? Thank you. All right.
God, he looks horrible.
And a gesture, a token of victory.
Have you forgotten about Kung Fu Billy Graham?
He looks like a severe heroin addict. God damn.
He was. Sean says he was on a strict drug regimen to keep his mind limber. All right, here we go. Is this guy gonna
Walking.
make it through the 8.5 minutes? We've got to go.
Walking corpse, Billy Graham. Jeez.
Okay, I'm not gonna say it, but I've got a joke in my mind about what Billy Graham looks like that shriveled up and in those particular striped pants. But decorum prevents me from making it.
I think we may
I
see
can't
him
believe-
later on in
Can't
the
believe
evening.
This man lived another 40 years. Wow.
Yeah, I know.
I know what you're saying.
I don't
Doug.
know how.
Uh-huh.
He was on the Death Watch, wrestler Death
Forever,
Watch for
yeah.
From
They
this
set the
point
record.
forward, this is when they
Pretty
first
Yeah.
acknowledged it.
Well,
when they
no, it
started
was
the
before.
clock.
No, it was
No,
before.
it was before
because
because he was
scientists-
Gorilla
Gorilla said he was dead.
Like 3 years before this. Right. Yeah.
When the scientists from Watchmen started that
He
clock.
went from being dead to being on the Death Watch. He was Benjamin buttoning his
You know what's crazy?
last
a brief Benjamin
40
Button.
years.
He used to announce with Gorilla. I was like, how could you announce with this guy? This guy never apologized for lying about you dying.
No, never retracted it.
Well, you know, the
Graham.
thing is the thing there is stupid. Billy Graham was a smart enough man to know I meant it metaphorically.
Used to wear
This kung fu shit, he was dead. He was, look at him. He was gonna die anyway. The gimmick was deader than a doornail.
Sean says he looks like present day Necro Butcher.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I don't think Billy. To Billy Graham's credit, he said a lot of crazy things here and there, but I don't think he ever became a right wing chode. So, good on Billy Graham. And he doesn't have a stupid giant weed tattoo. I say this as someone who saw Necro Butcher live a couple times in his heyday, and thought he
Hey
was
Johnny,
awesome.
back in
Awesome.
'83, who had the better physique, superstar Billy Graham or Reverend Billy Graham?
Or former rock concert promoter Billy Graham.
Well, no, the best physique would definitely be Bill Graham, because he.
Ugh,
Ever seen Bill Graham? He was a badass.
ugly,
He had to deal with all kinds of shit.
man.
Bill Graham, Bill Graham used to ride around on his little scooter at certain Grateful Dead shows that he was promoting to yell
What
at
is
people
going
for
on?
being assholes.
Wow.
Are you
There
dirty
was also
hippie?
a
Pick up
comic
those
book
balls.
artist named Billy Graham too.
There was a boxer in the 1950s named Billy Graham who became a New York State boxing judge and official as well.
All the same person. It's a Highlander situation.
Yes, yes.
Well, you
That's gotta
know,
be something
did superstar Billy Graham become real religious?
Yeah,
And-
he did.
And he spouted the same views as the Reverend Billy Graham. Maybe that's.
I don't know about that, but he definitely found after his organ transplant, he definitely found Jesus.
Well, he was religious before he got into wrestling, or he was doing
back.
Yeah, he
like
was. He
those
was a
revival shows.
he was
or
a
whatever,
revival
where he's
preacher. Yeah,
ripping phone
he's
books
ripping
in
off Billy.
half to-
Yeah, imagine some hillbillies. That, hey, darling, I done got us tickets to go see Reverend Billy Graham tonight. Woo! They go to some tent outside of their little.
Well, yeah,
It's
but
fucking.
he was still Wayne
Superstar.
Coleman at that time. Yeah.
Speaking of Wayne, I heard you guys talking about Honky Tonk Man. That's one of the funniest things is, and I loved Honky Tonk Man eventually, but as far as names go, Honky Tonk Man is one of the great dumb names in wrestling. But hearing that he was called Honky Tonk Wayne, that's even worse.
Yeah.
It's even,
Wayne Ferris. Yeah. I know.
it should be Honky Tonk Ferris. Why his first name? That sucks.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it could be. I'm just like wildly speculating because in Calgary, at the time, there was a fierce rivalry in hockey between the Flames and the Oilers, and of course, Wayne Gretzky played for the Oilers. I'm wondering if it was something to do with getting heat on the name
because
Wayne.
of Wayne Gretzky.
Okay.
Yeah, because Wayne Gretzky was hated in Calgary.
Stu Hart was playing 3D chess with the fans, is what you're saying?
Yeah, maybe. Well, Bruce Hart, I think, was maybe booking. So
Maybe that was
Bruce,
that could definitely be a Bruce Hart thing then. Yeah.
Bruce had some wacky ideas. We know
Okay,
that.
that makes sense. Hey, there's that drop kick by Salvatore. The wild man Salvatore.
The Mio kick, yeah. Big MTT.
Robert, we've been dipping into Wild Man Sal in the early ECW.
Yeah.
And it's I'd only heard of it, never seen it. We see it. I fully expected him to be kind of like a caveman or something. And he's a Roman centurion, but he's a wild man.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense because Romans didn't have beards. They were famously
or
short
known
hair
as
and
Wild
shape.
Man.
Yeah, or known as Wild Man.
I thought he was going to be like the modern day version of like the Wolf Man.
I think he just ran into a spirit Halloween on the way to the interview and put it all together.
No, the costume was in the wrong bag. There was a Wild Man bag, but Roman Centurion was in the bag, and that it just led to the mix-up. And Todd Gordon was like, "Fuck it."
Once again, rake of the eyes. Referee admonishing.
He actually starts the beard before he ends his WWF run, though. I've seen matches at the end where he had the beard.
Plans.
Yeah.
I have a bigger Wild Man plans.
Well, throughout 1983, they gave him a huge push.
Again, they had no one else on the fucking roster.
I mean,
so
week in and week out, he win. I'm like, this guy's boring.
Yeah.
I had a fun. We've fallen in love with him on this show. I had a fondness for Sal because of that. What was one of the first Coliseum tapes? Was it the weirdest, wackiest, schmackiest fucking? It was one of the first ones. It has the 10-man tag team match, and on the babyface side is Sal.
Most unusual matches,
It's most unusual matches, and I loved that match. And like Sal,
5-on-5,
but Sal's like a kind of a hero in it.
Sal's, yeah. I think he gets the winning.
He gets the winning. Yeah, he gets Sal.
Did Graham just get disqualified for choking him out there?
He just chokes him out with some fucking. That stinks.
Well, I think that's finally it for this thing. 2 times over. Never again.
There you go, Kelly.
Never, ever again. There will
Kelly,
not be another
in 10
remake.
years, we're gonna do it again to you. This is our new tradition.
Hilarious.
Well, I guess I'll forget about Tony Altamore again, so it'll be worth it to see that match again.
Yeah.
Ugh. Some of those matches were just beyond bad.
I think most of those matches were fucking bad.
What happened there at the end of this particular match?
Ugh.
Graham stepped through the ring ropes, went outside, and Balomo nails him with a big right hand to the side of the head. He ducked the second one, reaches over, hooks him from behind, and now reaches and pulls that.
Somebody actually got disqualified with
The
the foul.
tape.
He just
Here
does
we
it right
go.
in front of him. He doesn't
The
give a
5
shit.
count.
Come on.
Automatic disqualification. And
This sucks.
Too bad Jesse's not next to girl there. Like, well, I gotta hand it to Joey Morella. You really noticed that there, Gino.
Here was the highlights as they were.
Yeah. That is
No,
a
it wasn't a
dynamite
bad
drop
drop
kick.
kick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the Balomo drop kick. The mule kick. It's like from an episode of Three Stooges. We're
No, the
tearing
mule
down the
kick-
ring.
No. The mule kick is from that episode of Happy Days where Joni's falling in with a gang and a bad crowd, and Richie and Potsy and them try to go and save her at a high school gym, and of course they're outnumbered. And the lockers open up, and it's the Fonz, and they're like, "Well, there's 10 of us and 1 of you," and he snaps his fingers, and the other locker opens, and it's a crossover, and it's the Great Ragu from Laverne and Shirley. And
Nice.
and I was ready, and it's one of those many times as a kid, I'm like, I'm finally gonna see the Fonz punch somebody, finally. And he and the Great Ragu, after he goes, I've gone from rags to riches, and they do double mule kicks into the bad guys' faces, and then
Nice.
bounce up, and the bad guys run away.
Tonight's matches were produced by Stephen Fetter.
It was the only time I actually saw Fonzie kick anyone's ass, and it was a
But
mule.
wasn't there
Awesome.
an episode where Fonzie was beating up a whole bunch of people, and Mary was like, "Fonzie, you got to control your anger."
I can't remember it, or unless it was always like off camera, maybe, or something.
Oh, look at these hands, dude. I'm so high.
Fonzie,
I'm so fucked up right now.
We're
Fonzie
getting the
had-
full
Fonzie-
Crockett credits here.
Fonzie's kind of fucked up. Who wants their office where people shit?
This has been a sports presentation.
Oh, don't go in there, Fonz. I
but-
got
Oh,
a
no,
sold out business.
It's starting over.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh my god. All right, here's our first tribute.
It's not surprising.
All those peanuts.
It's that big chunk of fudge. I'm telling you, it's all
How many takes? Dude, they don't make them anymore. I loved me an O. Henry bar.
They make them in Canada, but still big.
Yeah, we
they
can
don't
still
have them here
get 'em.
If
anymore.
I'm not mistaken, this was named after Hank Aaron.
You're right. Yeah,
Probably.
you're right.
And now we get the Quebec French
So he
version
was in
of
both.
this commercial.
Okay. Of
Yeah,
course.
he's the only
That's
one that was
awesome.
in both. Yeah.
Double the
But yeah, they
residuals.
showed the
Yeah, no
English one
shit, right?
commercial for years and years.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And then Reggie Jackson tried to get in on the
That was
candy
a
bar
great
business.
candy bar. I love
Wasn't
that
it?
candy
A Reggie bar. A
Was
Reggie
it?
bar was
Reggie bar
round.
was
It-
delicious.
yeah, it was supposed to look like a baseball, but it didn't. It looked like
Rest
a
in
piece
peace,
of
Mad
shit.
Dog.
Yeah.
It looked like a dump. Yeah, it
It
did.
Butcher,
looked like a
butcher.
dump. It looked like a round
Butcher,
dump,
pardon me.
but it was delicious. It was
Even though
chocolate,
that, yeah,
caramel, and
the
peanuts.
videos both say it's Mad Dog, but it was Butcher.
That lives for winter. Kia.
Reggie bars were the fucking.
All right.
Yeah.
The long
There
con.
we
go.
go. Long con
The
continues.
long con continues.
Is it four shows in a row now?
Yep.
I
So,
believe.
Robert, and one of the many things that happens on the show is when we just fall into a bit that we like. And that just happened when Killer Khan passed away recently. We did a tribute, and then we just started going, you know what, let's do one Killer Khan segment for the rest of this year. See how long we can run what we're calling the long con.
My all-time favorite Killer Khan match is my all-time favorite world-class match. That match with Gordon.
Terry Gordy, baby.
Oh, phenomenal. Just
We're gonna end with that one.
That's what I was gonna
We've
say.
already watched that one like probably a couple of years ago now.
Did
All
we?
right.
Because it was on one of the world class
That's right,
big
that's
shows
right, yeah.
that we went on. But before he
No,
died. of
we'll
course.
end with the one with against a young Buddy Landell, so we can have those streams cross.
There's
Right,
lots
right.
of possibilities. Now
Oh,
watch
Let's
this.
tear your balls up.
Ugh.
Jeez.
is this around the
Oh,
time
no.
him and Andre was feuding?
My kidney.
This
What?
is when he was feuding with Andre.
Okay, all right.
Oof.
But there's a reason I picked this one, as we're gonna soon
What?
see here. It's famous for that blooper.
Hope he didn't break his leg. Oh,
We love the Killer Khan, baby. Khan.
Gone.
Who's he facing here?
It says if you get
Sean
the,
says it looks like if Paul F. Tompkins got attacked by bees. He's spitting the crowd.
I just love it because Killer Khan is not thinking right now, oh well, accidents happen. In the back of his head, and this time he's like, I can't believe I've just fucking fell through the ropes in front of all these people.
Hilarious.
he played it
Awesome.
off well, though. He got
He's a total professional. Just keep going,
Yeah.
man. But
didn't miss a beat.
The man.
I used to do musical theater, and we were doing the Music Man, and we did a ton of performances. And there was one night where my character runs. I'm the heel in the thing, and my character runs out to confront the baby face on this little wooden bridge that we built. Done this at this point at least 50 times. I eat it like a motherfucker on this bridge, carrying my briefcase in front of 85 people. Get up. I tore my pants on my knee. I was bleeding. The fucking the guy playing Henry Hill got
Manny Siaka is the guy.
Yeah, he improvised a line about me being clumsy, and I played off of it, and I was
that's great.
selling my knee like hell you, and got back. I felt like shit about that for a month and a half.
Hilarious.
Great stuff.
This guy's lasted longer than he should have. He should have pinned him.
Yeah, he should have put him away shortly after the
Killer
blooper.
Khan's like, Killer Khan, no longer match. Go on.
I'm gonna try to go all the
More
way.
people forget I fell on my ass.
Try to go all the way with Kincorn Karn on pro wrestling.
Oh yeah, right.
Oh, that's the guy based on
I
Killer
guess
Khan.
he would have been. Yeah, he would have been based on Killer Khan.
Oh,
And
nice.
that's
I know
gotta
what we
be
need to
it.
end on. We need to
Nice.
ask-
Look at that. Like, I love
That's
that. He's
No, we
looking
need-
tight, man.
we need
Hey,
to-
hey, who cares about that botch, man? Nobody's
Yeah.
going to remember that.
We need to ask Landy or whatever.
Like, he's still pissed off at the ropes.
Kicking
These
the
fucking ropes.
These fucking
Yeah.
ropes.
Ropes are
It's
too
the ropes'
loose.
fault. These fucking
Hilarious.
ropes.
There's
And here's-
Capetta. There's our
There's
beloved.
Capetta.
There he is.
Will
I'm
you
12
be
years-
my
Hey,
Valentine?
Terry Garvin keeps thinking that I'm 12 years old. I need to get the fuck out of here.
He looks like you, Poindexter.
Mel Phillips won't leave me alone.
Get your hands off my baby toes.
Manny Siak.
My Manny
my
Siaka's
agent,
acting up
Man
again.
Short and
you'll be a
stocky.
coach.
Yeah. This is nice, man. That finisher is pretty badass.
He usually would do it off the
Ooh,
top
I
rope.
like it. But that's
Yeah,
still
he's
pretty.
not trusting those ropes. Are you kidding me? He's
Yeah,
not
not
gonna
after
rub on
that.
those fucking ropes.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go, boys.
I've been sitting on this one for a long time.
I was excited
This
when
is-
you previewed
yeah.
this for me, man.
Yeah, you know, I knew
Speaking-
Robert was coming back, so I was saving this one for a Robert
Peter
show. 'Cause it's
Marvin.
Yeah, speaking
prime
of the Rock,
70s WWF. So we got a heel Victor Rivera
oh, nice.
after he had went to the IWA, the short-lived.
He was
competitor.
welcome back.
Ivan?
He was welcome back. But Ivan Koloff can go fuck it. No, they took back Koloff too in '83.
Well, Koloff came back way earlier, 75 for the Bruno.
Oh,
feud.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah, no, he came back right
Who's
away.
that? Is that Bruno?
I believe it's Scotland. Yeah, it's
Oh, yeah.
Scotland because it's Backlund and Peter Maivia
Awesome.
here.
Look how easy those ropes open up, man.
Yeah, Killer
they're
Khan
all
can tell you all
buddy-buddy
about how
here.
easy those ropes open up.
This would have been. This this was maybe Allentown because 78 was when they switched from filming it in Philadelphia to Allentown. And this is 78.
It does look like Allentown.
I think it
looks
is.
like Allentown, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I love the dark ropes on the dark. I canvas and ring apron. Everything looks really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the same floor that what's his name?
Snuko was pile drived.
Yes.
Yeah.
Riley.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Stevens.
God.
And
Yep.
when the belt, what's his name? The belt was
Yeah.
destroyed.
Yeah.
Right,
Back.
but-
Backlash driving.
And when
Yeah.
Valentine suplexed Pedro Morales.
Yes, though there was a lot of big angles on that floor.
Okay, Robert. One of my favorite memories is when Ray Stevens gave that pile driver. My best friend Brad, like I'd seen it. He comes
Nice.
over and we were laughing at it because it's the shittiest looking pile driver. He blades for it and everything, but it's literally just he puts his head between his legs and just kind of gets him up and just then just rolls over. That to where me and Brad every now and then just hanging around outside goofing around would just call like, "Hey, Ray Stevens pile driver," and one of us would just like go grab the other one and go. And just
You know what saved that segment? Vince McMahon. No, not again. Not again. He bladed as soon as Alberto hit him with the beads.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bead
it
ring
was the
in front of everybody.
bloodiest angle they ever ran, I believe.
Yeah, the
It
blood
was
is fucking great.
everywhere.
Everything is great, but like in modern footage, they should just do some sort of editing around.
It was a hot
actual
match.
fucking pile driver. Oh yeah.
Yeah, this was a big match for TV.
Those arm drags early on were tight as fuck, way better than what we were seeing earlier.
I'm not sure if there was much of a backstory to this. Robert, do you know anything about what led to this?
Is this the match where Maivia turns on Backlund?
It is, yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. No, because Ariane and Victor Rivera were also baby faces.
Yeah, exactly. They had been
So
baby faces that turn.
This makes sense. This probably, had I been watching this back then, I just start watching wrestling to 81. I'd be like, wait a minute, angle alert.
Okay, so you weren't watching him.
So Ariane and Rivera, like during the match, are whispering in Maivia's ears. Like,
I was gonna
aren't you
say,
fucking tired of hanging out with these fucking assholes? Come on, man.
they've infected Maivia with their
They're like, dude, come on,
evilness.
But Maivia only he didn't draw in that one match against Backlund, so they kept it as one match, right? It was only one match.
No, against Superstar when he was still a
that's
baby.
right. The year before
It
with
was
the ukulele.
I believe it was the only match that Superstar headlined at the Garden that he didn't sell out.
There it is.
But it was still a high number.
It was like 17,000.
That should be it.
Yeah,
that's
17, 18 or so.
That was another funny
I
one
got it.
too. It's great, but the way Peter Maivia cries over the broken ukulele is kind of silly and kind of racist.
And and also kind of similar to the Backlund.
It's very silly.
Right.
He's a better actor and he pulls it off than because the ukulele actually broke. The belt didn't actually.
And it was actually an heirloom that Vince Sr. insisted on breaking.
Insisted on destroying.
I was going to give this to Dwayne.
What are they like? Well, what are they like? Ukuleles, right? Don Ho, I get it.
Yes.
Because at this point in time, Dwayne would have, when he broke the ukulele, Dwayne would have been about 5-6 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as soon as they broke it, a young Dwayne rushed and tried to kick Vince McMahon Sr. in the balls because he was. I saw that on Young Rock.
Oh, they did use that.
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Well, I knew they did. Didn't they do any? Did they do any old stuff? No, that was never.
They did. No Vince Sr. stuff, but.
I was thinking of that '70s show way back. They did an episode where the
wrestling
Rock was
one
supposed
where
to
he
be
plays...
Rocky Johnson. Yeah.
Ken Shamrock's in it fighting midgets.
Yes.
Shit. It's fun.
Yeah.
Wearing a really shitty wig.
Sean says, "You know how these island people are: big foreheads, little guitars."
But yeah, Maivia teamed with Strongbow a lot. Had the brief feud with Superstar Graham. Was very popular.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
he died young too, name. Peter Maivia.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very young. Cancer too, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
His tattoos are like legit.
They're legit. Yeah.
They're done like the old school way.
So
crazy.
They still. I mean, I'm sure
They still do.
I'm
though.
sure Mayavia's were, maybe a bit cruder, but those ones that like The Rock and those guys get now like that, they do it the old way. They use the nails and the hammer and the whole fucking thing.
Mhm.
But I'd imagine Peter Mayavia's were literally like, a rock and a fucking nail. And
God
shit.
no, I don't know. It's supposed to be extremely painful. That's
Yeah.
all I know.
Look how ripped Bob Backlund looked back then.
I know, dude. He was a fucking specimen.
Yeah. Well, this is first year as champ. Woo! That was close to
great.
the ropes.
Yeah.
Speaking of great, Robert, did you read Backlund's book?
Yes, great book.
Yeah, great book.
Great book.
Mhm.
Great book. And he was very honest.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really
So
like
detailed too.
I never really cared much for the Briscoes because they smoked marijuana in the car with me, and that's in there, man. He was like, I think a world champion should carry himself a little better than the way Jack Briscoe is.
What shocked
The
me,
backseat of this car.
what shocked me, and I knew this before I read the book, was that he was a functional illiterate for years.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How do
Crazy.
you do that? I mean,
Oh, look at Jacques Demers is like the craziest. Do you know who Jacques Demers is, Robert? He was a coach of the year, won Stanley Cups with the
you're talking about with the New Jersey
Montreal
And the
Canadiens. Yeah, and the Canadiens.
He was the
yeah.
Devils. that-
Various teams.
Cup.
Yeah.
Devil, or not
But-
the Devils, the Red Wings.
Oh, yeah, it came
Blackhawks.
out in like probably early aughts that he was illiterate, which is insane.
That I did not know he was illiterate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
well,
hey,
Backlund
is
came
it-
from a pretty poor family.
Hey, Johnny, you still live in Colorado?
Uh-huh.
So you were the player to be named later when the Devils came from Colorado, right? Like years later.
Yeah,
Colorado from-
He went the other way.
Hilarious.
That's a great
Yeah.
one, Robert.
Yeah.
Hey, baby.
No, because there was
Funny.
Johnny posted one Halloween a picture of him wearing a New Jersey Devil. Right.
Yeah, I mean, I did. No, it was one of my. I was like, I was gonna do Uncle Fester, but this jersey has my nickname that my nephew calls me is Gunkle. So it was just for the family and shit. So I was gonna be Gunkle Fester. So I did Uncle Fester with my
Right.
Devils jersey over the robe.
That was a
You
cool
should get
picture.
a Rockies throwback jersey. Johnny,
Yeah.
that'd be neat.
Yeah. Perfect, right? You got the
Talk
connection.
about the
Mhm.
hockey team,
Yeah.
not the.
There's
baseball
also
team.
one of the
Fucking
new,
baseball
well, no, you
team
would-
keeps it up like
Yeah.
this. There's gonna be fucking historic ones.
yeah, well, they're as bad as the hockey
Fucking
team
owners.
used to be
These
now.
fucking owners. Ugh.
Oh man, speaking of famous Colorado Rockies, Lanny McDonald had
Mhm.
a triple bypass.
Triple bypass, yeah.
How many years
Yeah,
did he play in the league? He played a long time, right?
Yeah.
Lanny. Not
And
as
they
long as you
mention him-
think. He retired actually relatively young. He was still in his 30s, or he's like 36 or something.
Who was the Devils defenseman that played many years? What was his name?
Penny Danico, baby.
Yes,
Yeah.
he played forever. Great.
Penny Danico.
The house that Danico built.
Yep, he briefly opened a restaurant like many New Jersey sports guys do that failed, called
Okay.
Kenny O's.
Like,
Listen to Sean.
Kenny
LT?
D's or
Like
something.
LT
Listen to
was his
what-
restaurant?
Like LT,
Listen to-
he did the LT thing.
Listen to what Sean said. My sister married an illiterate guy with the biggest porn VHS collection I've ever seen. It took up 2 bookshelves and was not
Nice.
only in the open, but was right in front of you when you entered the trailer.
Well, he didn't know what they were. He can't read the titles. He can't read the titles.
They're just tape.
What I don't
There's
understand,
nothing
fellas,
on them.
is that
He knows they're porn. He doesn't need
Bob
to
Backlund
label them.
wrestled for 4 years in college. How did he get away with being illiterate?
Well,
That
course.
amazed me.
I mean,
Probably didn't have to go to
hey,
class.
Hey, Robert, I went to college at the University of Louisville, and the only basketball player I ever saw walking around with books was Felton Spencer, who, by the way, actually went to the fucking NBA.
When did you go to
Yeah.
Louisville?
80, 88, 89. I did 3 semesters.
Was Purvis,
88,
Nervous
89.
Purvis still there?
It was Purvis's. Yeah, I was on at the college radio station, and we had press passes for the games. And me and my guy would sit at courtside under the baskets to record for later as 18-year-old kids, Purvis's senior year. I was there the day that he fucked up his knee and his career went down.
My V is pissed.
He still was the first pick in the draft.
And was still the first #1 draft pick. Yeah, and we had it on tape. So we're doing a reel-to-reel recording because we could only, because A, we didn't have the technology, and B, we wouldn't have been allowed, but we were allowed to use it for we'd edit it later to put on the radio. And so we have it on tape as it's me on, and Davis passes to Ellison. Ellison goes down, and as he hits that wet spot, and his leg just goes like this. It's me on the tape going, fuck. Jesus fucking Christ. And we got it in the studio, bleeped it, and used it on the air.
He should have left college after they won the championship in '86.
Oh, here's the
He was
turn.
a freshman
so now
when they won it in '86.
Yeah,
Scollins being attacked.
He could have left.
Crazy.
He had braces still.
Lisa needs braces. Final plan.
Denny Crum wanted him to get that degree in criminology that helped him so well.
Sean, that's incredible. I'm not going to read all that.
Oh, my V is turned on him. Here we go. This is what
yeah, no, he turned on Scotland actually. For
Scotland.
Oh,
they had an argument going.
Were you at school? Will you go to Louisville same time as Eric Watts?
I think we definitely crossed paths because I was
nice.
Browning Nagel.
This is pretty awesome.
Well, I don't know. Okay, hold on. I'll say. Remind me to go back.
So my Via and Backlund have like a good series of matches.
Oh yeah.
Well, it was a huge success, but unfortunately, none of them are out there.
Damn
it was at MSG, three straight shows, but none of them made tape.
Really?
They didn't tell
Landy posted on Twitter a month or so ago highlights from the cage match that I had never seen before. From it was on the night, like the evening news in New York, I guess, or somewhere close, where they would show highlights from MSG, and it looked like an awesome match, like a total bloodbath.
Wow.
So who knows? I don't think they're ever releasing anything anymore, but
if
they did have 3 straight matches. Yeah,
there's a chance that footage could exist somewhere.
It's at least, I think one of the matches definitely exists because they've shown clips of it before. Not the cage match. No, Martel. Maybe Dino Bravo.
Okay.
He was in the territory then. Yeah, it is Dino. Yeah, that's Bravo. And Tony
Crazy.
Green.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Okay, so Robert, I was there while Eric Watts was there, and I know this because I was in an English class with a guy on the football team, and we started talking about that I liked wrestling, and he's like, was telling me, he's like, oh yeah, this guy, Eric Watts. I didn't know shit about our football team. Sucked. They just brought in Howard Schnellenberger, and
yes,
and he was telling his story. He was like, oh yeah, he's told me all about it because he knew it, and Eric Watts just told him all his stories about how, yep, bang Missy High, bang Dark Journey, bang this.
Crazy.
Yep.
Fired up.
I think this is a memorable Backlund promo. We'll have to watch later on our own. Yeah, he lost it totally. What is he screaming?
Son of a bitch! I'll kill that son of a bitch. Look how slim Vince is. Then
wow.
Pre-steroid Vince.
Yeah.
I mean, something like that, an angle like that happened like once every few years.
Right.
On TV, it was a huge deal.
Now, you had faces turn heel a lot in the WWF back then, but I don't think the first heel to turn babyface was until Pat Patterson, right?
Gorilla Monsoon in the late 60s.
Okay, Gorilla from heel to babyface.
Yeah.
It was rare.
This music,
but it was rare. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I'd love full episodes of this, man.
Yeah, they're out there. This, I don't know. This footage is definitely.
We on Titans tried to do the 1975 stuff, but we're
met
with
this is probably
met with indifference.
Yeah, from 2 of our fellow. So this was just right after this, and it was Maivia and Strongbow against the tag team champions, the Yukon Lumberjacks.
Oh, cool. I love it when they do shit like this. This is like,
But Maivia had already turned, so
yeah,
they
but they
were
still were
bickering. Like,
contractually obligated. To try to go.
obligated, yeah.
That's great. I love that kind of shit.
Oh, they have matching titties.
Yeah.
That's a late entry for title tonight there,
Actually,
Robert.
I
Very
think that's the winner. Yeah.
good.
We'll
Matching
see.
titties.
We've got a few. So, Robert, since the last time you've been on, we're doing a thing where I just whatever lines I think worked is the best or funniest to be the title of the show of this episode. I'll make the decision, but I'm a fair and just overlord.
I don't know.
but
I
it
don't
is
know
my
if that'll
decision.
work though. You might have to censor that matching titties.
Matching titties. I heard titties on Saturday Night Live the other night. Michael Che did a joke where the punchline was big old titties. I think it's okay.
Or the new segment, right?
Yeah, the news, which is the only thing worth watching on Saturday Night Live anymore. Look at fucking no, I'm gonna do about Parv impression. Look at the state. Look at the state of
Yes,
Strongbow.
look at the state of this
Look at
man.
the state of this man.
That's a running joke with my wife and I when we go to Walmart, is me saying, look at the state of that person. And it's from Parv. It's me doing a Parv.
Who are the Yukon
That's
The
Lumberjacks?
the very state of that.
That is so awesome. His legend lives on, man.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you know what? I think we're smart enough to be able to work around it. I'd say if it's all possible, let's bring him back. Let's get him on the show.
We can get Parv for
let's do Parv. I'm
Parv
willing to.
for one show.
Right
Yeah, why
before
not?
the election. Perfect timing. How
Yeah,
about
perfect
my
timing,
God.
right before the
Oh my
election. Let's
God.
get him on.
Oh, this was smart. He turned on him right as the match started.
There you go. That makes
Yeah, it would
sense.
make no sense. Why would he stay? Yeah, but no, Strongbow gets his.
I see Dakota finally turned on Bailey. We knew that was going to happen, right?
Dude, okay, the Dakota turning on Bailey was one of those things that was the most obvious
pissed.
fucking thing in the world,
Yeah.
but
Still
good.
worked, yeah,
It's fine, good, because sometimes you need to just go with the obvious.
Will she go
old-fashioned
back to the
storytelling.
inflatable tube guys for Mania?
No,
That'd be
get rid of that shit.
amazing.
She's not a
No.
little child anymore. She's
I think
no,
she should
Bailey's not a grown, sexy woman who straps her tits down like she's Judy Garland in The Wizard of Oz and pretends to be a 12-year-old girl anymore. She's a voluptuous
Maybe there's a
woman who
new
doesn't need
version.
to-
Maybe there's a new version.
Okay, if the
Wow.
balloons are like got big booties,
Is that
then
it for Strongbow?
I'm all for it.
Yes, it is.
Adios,
That's
Big
it for
J.
you.
Chief Jake quickly
Jay.
disposed
Okay,
of.
yeah,
That's
somewhere
fine. The
Parv
quickest
got a
match
hard
ever
on.
lost.
Somewhere Parv just got a hard on because
State
Chief
of
J
this
just
man.
got the shit kicked out of him.
Look at
The
state
crowd
of
is super
this
pissed because this was a title match.
man. Wow.
Yeah. Who were the heels again?
The Yukon Lumberjacks.
Lumberjacks.
Look at those guys in the front row. Extras and Mad Men.
It was Scott Irwin, right? Was
And
one
who's
of
the
them.
other guy?
Oh, really? It was Scott Irwin?
Yeah, Scott
This
Irwin,
is
the one
great.
that died younger.
Oh,
Man.
he's fucking.
And the other guy was, I believe, Canadian.
There's
But I
so
can't
much
Bob
remember.
bland
Newhart.
shit.
Bob Newhart?
Yes, yes.
Oh, Bob Newhart.
Oh,
Yes.
fuck this shit. Like Louise Guzman is really pissed off.
These MSG crowds are so great.
Yeah.
Oh, and then this is because this is a gloating promo now by Lassie about the turn.
Oh, I think I've seen this.
He's got to weigh an extra 280 pounds himself.
Blassie looks like Ted Knight's older brother.
Thanks, Sean.
Dresses like him too.
Uh-huh. He's like,
Talking about Peter Maivia. You know, for weeks and weeks I've been talking to him, showing him, telling him what has been happening.
I've sentenced boys younger than you to the gas chamber.
So
I
he
didn't want to
did
do it, so I
poison.
owed it to them.
He poisoned Maevea's mind,
And I finally made him see the light. Blassie's charm.
Hey,
just like he
McMahon,
did with
how about a Fresco?
Rivera and Area.
So is Backlund champ at this time?
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Charm finally paid off. That is spelled charm. M-O-N-E-Y.
Uh,
Just like all the rest of these guys have fallen in line. First spear area
Oh yeah, okay. Blassie's taking credit for like being the shining light.
Corrupting. Yeah. Corrupting my vet.
Sean is just saying that the Turner Hall in his town just burned down. It hosted some of Blassie's earliest matches when he got out of the service, when he was Sailor
Oh,
Fred
wow.
Blassie.
Wow.
That's a
In
drag.
Missouri. Yeah. That's crazy.
That's wild.
Blassie had one of the most fascinating careers of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Blassie,
Like
Blassie
60 years.
Okay.
Mr. Freddie Blassie in a wrestling match.
Okay, real quick, guys. This is crazy. You know, I mentioned that I've been rewatching Northern Exposure now that it's finally.
That's so funny. Yeah,
Okay,
I love it.
Well, hold on. There's one episode where Chris in the morning, the DJ, he goes, "I'm going to put on this song. It means a lot to me. It's the first thing I listened to when I got out of jail, and it's fun." And it was Fred Glassie's "Pencil Neck Geek," and he's playing it, and everyone in town is kind of cuts to them liking it, and it results in a listener killing himself because it reminded him of the bullying he had, and that leads to the fucking story. So they do an episode where Fred Blassie's song accidentally causes a man to commit suicide.
Oh my god, crazy.
Interesting. Well, it shows the reach.
How do you feel, Chief Maivia? Angry. It's like Chris Farley in that famous Schiller-Vision Saturday Night Live.
Did he grow the mustache after the turn, or did he have it already? Because he didn't have it.
It's
he
his
didn't
heel
have
mustache.
it when he was a babyface against.
No. He's got to be a heel now. He's got a heel mustache.
I'm just wondering if he telegraphed the turn by growing the
evil
mustache.
growing it first. His evil twin.
It is a great mustache.
Look at this young pervert over here.
So
with
that's
the bad hair.
all. Wow, look at this. What is that coming up? Oh well.
Oh, that's not us, right? Okay.
No.
Is that the end of that? All right. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
79.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Here are your last sight, Vince McMahon.
Yeah, beloved by all.
He'll be back in time for WrestleMania, won't he?
Everybody else who joined us, great to see all of you. See you very soon.